We are Bears.
And EdgBLASTon is our home.
Birmingham Bears have come through, the home team.
People swarm onto the field here at EdgBLASTon.
Birmingham batsmen are celebrating.
For 140 years.
Here in B5.
It's our fortress, a cauldron.
And we must defend it.
Just swept away. That is stunning.
Together as Bears men and women. It's game time.
This is your 60-second countdown.
Just swept away. Yeah! Gone straight through.
And that is beautifully done.
Very good off the bat.
Cut away. Oh my goodness!
10, 9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's game time.
Hello everybody and welcome to Bears TV 2025 for the season of the Vitality Blast. We are live at EdgBLASTon. Did you get it? Because it's the blast. Blessed, it doesn't work with my accent. It'd be EdgBLASTon, wouldn't it? Well, welcome anyway to EdgBLASTon. It's very, very exciting. So exciting to be here for a double header here at EdgBLASTon in the Vitality Blast. We've got Somerset visiting the Bears in action, women's and men's teams. It's going to be great fun. I'm so excited to be back hosting this season. My name is Atif Nawaz, and I have an all-star panel with me here today. On lead commentary, we have Mr. Adam Bridge. Look at him, look in his lovely hoodie. Where'd you get this?
Outfit,
Where'd you get this from?
I think we raided the store a few minutes ago, didn't we? These are available in the Superstore, by the way.
Well, there you go. Check out the Superstore if you're in EdgBLASTon, or just get on the website and find it there. We've also got a Bears superstar. We've got Chloe Brewer with us. Chloe, how are you?
Yes, I'm okay, thank you. It's I'm excited for second T20 at home.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be great fun. And our first one on Bears TV as well, which is great fun. And a very special treat today, twinning with me on stats. Right, we've got a very special man as well. We've got Aaron Viles. Aaron, how are you?
Yeah, very good to be honest, Atif. We are twinning today.
We are
Looking
twinning.
very dapper.
Yeah, I think
must
so.
Say. Yeah, it's wonderful. And yeah, they've shoved the nerd in the corner, which is probably for the best, to be honest. But yeah, we've got some great stats for you today, and yeah, very much looking forward to the coverage.
It's going to be great fun. Just get ready because we're going to be asking you loads of really difficult questions, all mathematical and 2, 3, or 4 decimal places. Just be ready for that. It's going to be very, very exciting here, though. It's already a nice atmosphere. It's starting to build. It was a bit rainy earlier in the Birmingham area, but it's nice and dry, clear skies. So hopefully we'll have 2 uninterrupted games here today. It's going to be 2 separate videos today, 2 separate feeds. So make sure you click onto the later one for the men's, which starts at 20 to 7, 6:40 for that one. But we're going to start here very, very soon here at EdgBLASTon. I should let you know as well, by the way, this is our Rainbow Laces game here at Warwickshire. Warwickshire is committed to LGBTQ+ inclusivity, and this is our Rainbow Laces game, so that's very exciting as well. And this is a big game. This is a very exciting game, guys. Now, we're going to get into the game in a second. First and foremost, the toss has taken place, I believe, and it's Somerset who have won the toss, and they will be bowling first. Now, Chloe, you've bowled and batted and done so many different things on this surface. What do you make of that decision?
Yeah, that's a good decision. I think they produce such good wickets these days. It's okay. I think overhead it might do a little bit with a ball, maybe swing a little bit. There's a couple of clouds in the area. But yeah, I think if we get off to a good start, good power play, we're up and running.
And Adam, like, I mean, they're going to be batting first. They've got the Bears, but they've got quite the batting lineup and batters in form as well. Like, you know, we were talking pre-show about Laura Harris and how impressive she is, but like they've really run into some batting form recently.
Yeah, they have, and we saw against Durham in the first game here how good the wickets are. We always know they're really good wickets here, so to get first use of it, I don't think particularly is a bad thing. And obviously, I saw Deb Perrin outside in warming up down in the nets, and she was striking the ball magnificently. And obviously, she got the 87 here against Durham and was in terrific form that day. Some of the shots she plays are quite outstanding for someone who is only 18 years of age.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the bit I find quite astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I could do that when I was 18. Also, I hope you parked your car far away from her. Because I don't know if you
worry about that. They were batting the other way. Thankfully.
Yeah, I know, but like they play all these random shots these days.
She was even doing that in the nets.
That's
Like,
what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. I've seen people attempt ramps and you don't know where to park. Where do you park your car if you're visiting a cricket stadium? Well, you don't. You take the tube. Right, let's have a look at the teams, particularly the Bears team first and foremost. So let's have a look. Now, this is our Bears team. We're going to have Abby Freeborn up top. Opening, and that's a very good player to start things off. And then we've got Perrin, who we've just been talking about, in a lot of form and looking to hit the ball very, very hard. Izzy Wong here, very, very exciting fast bowler, England international. So it's been around the England team this summer a little bit as well. And then we've got Steer Callis bringing her experience to the Bears this season. We've got Wraith as well, who's part of this team this season. Seen her warming up a little bit earlier too. And then you got Caris Pavley, who's become a bit of a star in these parts. Caris Pavley. Don't call her Charis. She's Caris Pavley. That's how you remember it. And there's Laura Harris, who we mentioned, just hard-hitting batter. Just a brilliant signing, I think, for the Bears this season. So good. And, of course, Taylor coming in next as well for the Bears. And there we go. Davis, look at that. That's the crest of the Bears. Everybody's so proud to wear it. You got to pick them up as well. Of course, Baker rounding out the 11 for the Bears. It's going to be Hardwick as well. So that's an 11 that I think is pretty strong in the circumstances. I know that not everybody could play today. I know some people have to go to school today.
I was going to say there's a couple of changes today, aren't there, Chloe? Based on the game that against Essex, which obviously they lost last time out. But one of them's quite an interesting story, isn't it?
Yeah, it's making me feel a little bit old, but Ami's out taking one of her A-level exams today.
Wow.
So I hope it's gone well.
Because it's a Friday and people go to school on Fridays.
Do you remember that far back?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
A-level. Oh, just about. I don't know. What did you get?
I don't know. I didn't do A-levels. Sorry. Do A-levels?
You didn't
Come
do
on.
A-levels? You must have done A-levels.
No, I left school. Did a bit of this.
Okay.
From the age of 16, that was all I was interested in.
That's why you're good at this. That's what's going on, man. That's really, really good. So, I mean, we don't have the Somerset team is also quite exciting, and they've got some interesting names. So, Aaron, I mean, who should we be looking out for in that Somerset side?
Well, where do we start, to be honest? I think we have to begin with the captain. Sophie Luff scored 111 not outs in the One Day Cup game against the Bears at EdgBLASTon earlier this season. And, of course, the low knee, Hannah Jones, coming in from Lancashire, a player nicknamed the Quiet Assassin by Paul Shaw when she was at the Thunder. So I think Hannah Jones will be very good on this surface. It's very useful for spin. We've seen that at many times this season in both formats. So I think those two, the captain, Sophie Luff, and then Hannah Jones coming in, providing that left arm off spin, I think they'll be quite a danger.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye out for them as well. It's going to be quite the occasion here as well today at EdgBLASTon. So if you're in the area, definitely pop along. There's plenty of tickets available. Obviously, another great game in the men's match coming up later as well. But I do see a lot of fans filtering in, trying to get in for the start of this game. What kind of total are we looking at here, Chloe? I mean, because we know the average total here. Aaron, you told us a little bit earlier. It was
144.
144 is the average total in women's T20s on this pitch. But I feel like the Bears are going to want more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. This competition as a whole has been pretty crazy. You've seen quite a few over 200s around the competition. So I think we'll be happy. Last time here we got 160 odd. And I think that 140 mark is a pretty good bench.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to seeing what they do. Now, here's the context for you guys so far. The Bears have played 3 games so far. They have won 1, lost 1, tied 1. They got they got the full set. They got the full collection, which places them 4th in the table at the moment with 7 points. And it's definitely a team that can do better than that. But a win today, it could put them in the top, depending on the net run rate, they could end up in the top 2, Adam.
Well, it's 4 points for a win, so they should go top tonight with a victory, barring obviously games being played elsewhere. They obviously picked up a bonus point as well, because there is a bonus point available. Again, no one's quite sure the maths that come with how you actually get the bonus point, but they did get it against Durham, Aaron, I'm thinking?
They did indeed. So just
how do you do it? Yeah, this is it, Aaron. Give us some clarification. Where does that bonus point come from?
Yeah, so it comes from 1.25 times your opponent's run rate. So that's where it comes from. So if you outscore them by 125%, you get the bonus point.
Okay, so they score 200. You score 200. They score 150. You get a bonus point.
Essentially,
there
yes.
we go. Okay, there we go. So you had to break it down.
That was very good maths very quickly.
Was
I'm quite impressed by
I know. I did A-level maths.
Oh,
so
there we go. That's where it went, because I didn't have a clue, you see.
I'm just trying to work it out. But listen, this is wonderful. I'm really excited to have Aaron on board this year as well. I know you are as well, Adam. Just keep pumping in for these stats. People love the numbers. I know they do, and we're going to get loads of that. I mean, have you got just this is what we do sometimes on the B with Andy Zaltzman. We just find the most fiendish, most difficult question you possibly can.
Oh, he's very good at that. To be fair, I've thrown a few at him in the past, and he's done particularly well to pick them out. It's a mind of information. He doesn't really do anything else apart from sit and look at cricket stats. That's what he does.
Well, you know what? What a great life, I would say. Right, I can see the umpires are currently making their way out to the middle. In a moment, I'm going to take my leave, but just before I do, Chloe, just carrying an injury at the moment, and obviously we wish you the very best and a quick recovery, a speedy recovery. Any prognosis on that at the moment? Like how long it might be since we see you back out in the middle?
Yeah, we're working really hard with the physios. Surgeon did a great job, so hamstrings all in one piece, which is always great. Yeah, we're working really hard at the moment, so it's getting there.
Well, we wish you a really speedy recovery, and of course, silver lining, you get to hang out with myself and Adam and Aaron, and that's not so bad, is it?
No.
What more could anyone actually want? It's worth getting injured for.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, it's nice either way. So there we see the players on the edge of the rope. They're about to make their way on. You'll see a lot of sort of rainbow themed paraphernalia. It is our Rainbow Laces game, and we're all about LGBTQ plus inclusivity here at Warwickshire. So anyway, that being said, I'll be back at the I'll back to join for some commentary a little bit later. But for the time being, I'm going to leave everybody in the capable hands of Chloe Brewer and Adam Bridge.
Thank you very much, Artif. Here we go then. The first women's Bears game on Bears TV of this season that we've hosted here at EdgBLASTon. And as you can see, the huddle beginning as well for our visitors today, Somerset, who find themselves at the foot of the table. But when it's 4 points for a win, it's very easy to move around that table very quickly, isn't it, Chloe?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of games as well, so there's a lot of room to get a couple wins on the belt, and it could be anyone's game in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, if you aren't familiar with the format of the competition, there are, of course, 8 teams in the league. You play each other home and away, so 14 fixtures in total. The top team qualify automatically for the final. Finals day taking place at the Kia Oval at the end of July. The teams that finish second and third will play off on that day in a semi-final as well. And already this season, the Bears have got to the County Cup finals day, didn't they? Unfortunately, they weren't successful in the end, but it's been a really good start to the campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything can happen on those finals days. A lot of nerves around, and it's whoever comes off on the day, really. But yeah, they've hit the ground running, really. That T20 campaign already was pretty good. So they've got one finals day under their belt. Hopefully they'll get another.
And talking of pretty good, opening up as ever is Davina Perrin and Abby Freeborn. We saw them in terrific form here against Durham. Obviously Davina in particular on that day with what was a superb 87, wasn't it, Aaron?
It certainly was, yes, and we've got some great stats about Davina. We'll produce those throughout the broadcast, but one thing to watch out for is boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. She's a very, very powerful opening batter.
To be fair, she very much looked it when I saw her in the nets earlier today, and it's going to be Ellie Anderson who's going to open the bowling from this pavilion end for Somerset then. And immediately Davina looking carefully on, but a little bit too wide. Our two umpires who are in the middle today, looking after things for this fixture in particular, are Gabby Brown and Rose Dovey. And immediately arms outstretched, bit of a loosener to start up. First time for Ellie Anderson. There was a second change to the Bears side today as well. Katie George replaced by Nat Wraith in the starting 11 for the Bears today too. And immediately Perrin is off and running, just guiding that ball away down towards third man for a single. and a nice start.
Yeah, pretty good start. What I love about Dav's batting is that she hits all these boundaries, but she's rapid between wickets. You watch her run and she's like a whippet.
That really stood out actually in her partnership with Laura Harris as well, didn't it? Because if there was the odd ball that Laura didn't quite connect with, she was away and she was up the other end immediately saying, actually, we can run a single here, it's fine. It may have been because she was so desperate to get the strike back, because she was starved for a little in the 40s, wasn't she? Yeah. There's no doubt about that. That's a fairly straight one that time. And again, just to back up the example, she may have heard me. She's sprinted up to the other end and they've sneaked through for, I think, what's gone down as a leg by. And the score moves. I know it's gone as a single there, so there was some bat on that.
Yeah, a little bit of bat. Yeah, is this microphone hitched up to the pitch? We're just chatting
I was going to say, she immediately set off on one of those super fast sprints that she's so good at. But she really does have some tremendous power in those arms, that's for sure. It's worked away into the leg side, and that will just be one more to the total. 1 to 4 already, and we're only 3 balls in to the first over. As we said, it's a bit wet this morning around. It was a bit wet yesterday, wasn't it? Fairly wretched yesterday afternoon, but actually looking out today, there were a few scudding clouds. Very breezy though, but the sun's out.
Yeah. Couple of clouds over there, but sun is shining now, so can't complain.
And the wind blowing across here, so as Anderson comes into bowl, it's from her left to the right. Well, that one's gone airborne, and it's going to land safe, and it will be 1 more to the total. And it's fielded out in the deep, and it's another run to Freeborn, Abby Freeborn. Wicket keeper as well, Abby Freeborn. She's got a few 50s to her name, hasn't Sharon?
Yep, she has indeed. I'll give you the specifics of that after this next delivery from Anderson, but in terms of these two as an opening duo, as we've mentioned beforehand, very destructive in terms of boundary hitting, both incredibly capable in that department.
Yet to see a boundary today. Perrin this time is denied a single. It's well fielded on the edge of the circle, and there's no run this time round, so it's a dot ball to the total. I think Emma Corney may have done the fielding on that occasion. They've got some talented players, the Somerset side, so the fact that they are at the foot of the table is a little bit of a surprise. They've only played a couple of games, obviously.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a surprise. We've got so much talent within the group. We've got quite a few young girls in the squad. Ellie actually used to play at Sparks.
That's a lovely shot, isn't it? What a beauty from Davina Perrin. She plays that so well. That was one of the shots she was practicing in the nets when I arrived earlier today, and she's got it down to an absolute fine art. I actually, funnily enough, as it is, it does cross the boundary and go for 4. One of the things she did say to the coach that was throwing the balls down, that would have been a Yorker, and she's obviously just picked that up of the similar length and done that. So, as they say, practice does make perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. She's pretty strong. 360 is Davina. It's, incredible.
You were going to give us some numbers on Abby's stats in terms of, because she was a fairly quiet start to this part of the campaign. But
yeah, she has. I'll go through that in a second, just because Davina Perrin, interestingly enough, is now the 2nd leading boundary scorer in this year's T20 Blast. So that is a stat. That was a 21st 4 of the season already.
Wow.
And we're 4 games in.
Game 4, yeah. Who's at the top?
That would be, I think it's Winfield Hill.
Oh, okay.
Lauren
He was obviously
Hill.
playing on loan at Essex, and
Essex,
obviously played against.
Yep, who beat the Bears, of course, midweek down in Chelmsford. So hopefully Davina can get a few more today.
Molly Robbins into the attack from the Birmingham end. Oh, that's a good ball, and that's out. Well, not what Abby Freeborn was hoping for, but I don't think there's much argument there. Finger straight up from the umpire, and no surprise. That was a lovely ball. She literally, first delivery of the over, first of her spell, and she found her line and her length absolutely perfectly, did Molly Robbins. And that's the end for Abby Freeborn, out LBW for 2, and the Bears are 9 for 1.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good ball. Both these opening bowlers swing the ball really nicely. We've got a little shape away. And unfortunately, just got trapped on the pads. But what can you do? Izzy Wong coming in to replace in the power play. So hopefully followed by some more explosiveness.
Well, I was going to say, interesting tactic this, isn't it? Because obviously against Durham, after the good start they've made, they chose not to send Izzy in at 3, but clearly they see the power play is where Izzy can and do her best work in terms of trying to move the scoring along.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen Iz hit so many balls into the stands, over boundary, so in a power play, it's the best kind of time because there's only allowed 2 out of the side of a ring, so there's so much space for her to go out and just be herself.
Yeah, I don't think there's even much doubt on our second view there from behind Abby Freeborn that was out. There's no danger there. So Izzy Wong's on strike. High score in T20 games?
53.
53 for Izzy Wong. He has all the answers. 9 for 1. And again, it's a good ball. Really up and around the toes of Izzy Wong. No run again.
Yeah, it's quite dangerous. Lofting, well, bowling quite full here. She's got straights up, deep covers out, and cow corner. So she's looking to hit straight, but get it slightly wrong, and I feel that's going to be in the sight screens.
9 on the board. 8 legitimate balls bowled. Just the wicket so far of Freeborn to date. Robbins is back in, and Izzy Wong just looking to work that to the leg side. She'll get a single for it. 1 more to the total.
I've got a question for Statman Aaron.
Go on.
What is the aim for a power play, as in a winning power play?
That's a very good question. I'll get back to that.
Thank you.
They had a pretty good power play against Durham, didn't they?
That was a pretty winning one, if I would say.
It was, and that was even before the arrival, of course, into the middle of Laura Harris, who just helped everything tick along really nicely with that 50 from 17 balls. I mean, it was extraordinary hitting. It really was. Good start to the over this from Molly Robbins for Somerset. But she's been blattered down the ground there. I mean, there was plenty of arm in that from Perrin. Didn't get beyond the field and probably didn't middle it, because is it one of those where you perhaps just tried to hit it too hard, maybe?
Yeah, she is slightly wide of that one, so she just looked to kind of flat back, straight, and just mistimed it. But
she's already up to 7 from her 5 deliveries so far. Robbins haven't taken a wicket with the first ball. Has been tidy ever since. Izzy Wong drills it down and she's gone. Comfortable catch. And Wong is on her way for 1. And the Bears lose a second wicket. Robbins has a second of the over. And not the best of starts for the Bears or for Izzy Wong. Doing what she was told to come in and do. Try and hit the ball. But this time she couldn't get it beyond mid-off. And she's on her way for 1. And the Bears are 11 for 2.
Yeah, I think Nat Rafe is just coming in to replace Izzy Wong. Yep, she's tried to do her job there, and that's all you can really do. T20 is such a quick game. It's can't really hang about too much. That was full of a length, and that's the danger of looking straight.
She looks there, Chloe, so she gets her left leg out the way, doesn't she? And it's almost like she's then trying to carve it, but just probably had to sit a bit too straight.
Yeah. She's just looked to clear the front leg, hasn't she? And just ended up picking up the fielder and give it a couple metres to the left or a couple metres to the right, and it's 4 runs. Yeah,
Amanda Jane Wellington taking the catch for Somerset. And for Molly Robbins, well, this is a terrific start, Aaron. What's the numbers like on Molly? She's bowled really well in this first over.
She has indeed. In terms of career bests, I'll take you through that after this delivery. She's bowling here to the newcomer Wraith.
Yeah, it's the last ball of the over. Oh, and she's done Wraith all ends up there. In fact, she's done the wicket-keeper as well. That's going to run away to the boundary ropes for 4. And I didn't see the buys signal come, but surely that was buys. I don't think she got anything on it at all. We'll have a quick gander on the replay if we can, but it's 4 more to the total. And at the end of this second over, it's 15 for 2. Lace problem for Davina Perrin, it would appear. Oh, it has gone up as buys, so 15 for 2 then. Rafe could have been in trouble there. That was a beauty.
Yeah, that was. I wanted to see a replay, see if it came back off a surface or something, because she looked pretty surprised.
Really super over, though, from Molly Robbins. You were going to tell us about her numbers, Aaron?
Yes, so career best today is 2 for 3 against Dorset back in 2016. So already after 1 over has got those 2 scalps. 1 away from what would be career best T20 figures.
Yeah, 2 for 2 for her already. Second over then from Anderson from this pavilion end. Again, Perrin has worked that nicely, but it's only going to be 1 to the total. So 2 boundaries so far in the opening 2 overs. One of those, of course, not off the bat, but 16 for 2 at the end of that. Also after the first ball of this third over. Is it concerning nowadays still to lose, 3 wickets in the power play? Is that still a stat that bears true, or are teams kind of overcoming that nowadays?
After this ball, another delivery from Ellie, defended back to her. Yeah, so Aaron, I'm sure you'll have something on this, but there's so many wickets you can lose, which means you're more likely, there's a percentage, it's like a little worm. Percentage goes down, but then when it gets to 3 or 4 wickets, it actually goes back up, your chance of winning.
Oh, right, okay.
So we have a little laugh about that.
Yeah.
But I think in T20 it doesn't affect it too much.
Aaron will add some number context to, I think, Chloe's worm in a moment. Wraith is off and running here. They're going to try and turn it into 2. Perrin desperately wants to turn it into 2, and it's no surprise that she's back safely. It's an interesting that she makes those calls. I mean, if you are not as quick as her, is it quite a hairy moment when you're batting with her?
Sometimes you're struggling to keep up with Dav. I think you've just got to commit. If you're not quite there, put in a dive and commit to it.
I have to say, I think for an 18-year-old, the way she plays, this attitude and her whole kind of approach, she's going to go a long way in this game, isn't she?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Anderson to continue then. Chance for Wraith to work it into the offside, and again, there's a sign of that running, because that's not a single usually, is that? But they've turned that into a single. That's very impressive. So we're talking about the loss of wickets in the power play. 3 was the kind of old. If you lost 3, you only win about 20% of games or something crazy.
Bang on.
Oh,
yeah,
20.
It was an 80-20 split, but weirdly with 4 wickets going down, and we've seen this with the Bears men quite famously at Trent Bridge. Let's talk about that after this ball here from Anderson.
It's going to be another 1 to the total.
Very deftly played that, wasn't it, from Davina Perrin. Yeah, weirdly the percentage actually goes down if you lose a 4th, and I guess it comes down to the kind of approach, doesn't it? You lose that 4th wicket and you can go a little bit more guns blazing. There's a little less inhibition, isn't there?
I also think that numerically, if you're probably losing 4, it may say something about the wicket more than just your attitude as to how you're approaching it. Anyway, that's a lovely shot from that Wraith. Round the corner, picks the gap between the 2 fielders brilliantly. That's very well played for 4 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex Griffiths on a boundary there's. Don't know how to try and make some ground, but she's hit that pretty well.
And that completes the over. 24 for 2.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
No great surprise that Molly Robbins is getting a second over here and dispatched down the ground. 4-4. Perrin doing what Perrin does. Ripple of applause from around EdgBLASTon that's beginning to fill up, but that was a lovely shot.
That was an incredible shot. I just love watching Dav bat when you know when it's pitched up it's going to be sent back towards the sight screens. Look at that.
The bat speed is terrific, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Serious talent.
Yeah, just a couple of paces and 1 bounce and over the ropes. 28 for 2. Slightly slower ball this time from Robbins. Well executed, good response from her.
Yeah, absolutely. It says a lot about a bowler how they follow up boundaries. Actually, can they pick themselves up and focus on the next ball and put it on a penny?
So we talked about briefly in the pre-show about your injury and how you did it. So it was a proper grade 1 tear, was it? They do grades, don't they? Oh, okay, that's fair enough. Well, we know you tore your hamstring because they've had to put it back together for you. That's a good shot again from Perrin into the leg side. And then, the decision this time was made by Wraith to go for a second. Yeah, and they do get through for it. Nice running again from this Bears pair. So it was when you were fielding, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was just running along the square leg boundary to try and stop a ball, and the sniper up in the apartment's got me, unfortunately. So.
And you slid and you felt it go?
Yeah, I felt it pop and then I skidded on it, so.
Oh, she's bowled it. Robbins strikes back, and Perrin's gone for 15. And the Bears lose a third wicket. Now on to 30 for 3. And it's the dangerous Perrin who departs for 15. And Robbins is having a day and a half here. 3 for 8 so far from her 10 deliveries. And the Bears are 30 for 3.
Yeah, that's quite. Yeah, I really want to see a replay where it looks like it's come back in from how Dav's played it and the reaction off the pitch. There might just be a little bit in the surface this afternoon.
Doesn't feel like much past morning, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just
yeah, the view from behind,
back.
just clipping the top of the stumps. May get a better indication this time as to how that comes off the surface to bowl Perrin. Yeah, it's just straight through, isn't it? You miss, I hit is how it works, isn't it? And she's on her way. Caris Paverley, I think, is the new batter.
Yeah, Caris has come in. I think that's Stair.
Is it maybe? Maybe.
Stair,
no, you're right.
Stair
It's me
Callis.
not reading my numbers properly. You're right. It's Callis who's in. Stair Callis has come in. I was going to say, so still keeping Laura Harris, which is interesting.
Yeah, keeping her back. I did this similarly in the opening game, I believe. Laura Harris didn't come in for a while. I could be wrong, but I'm right.
Aaron's nodding
Yeah.
from the corner. That breeze you can hear is Aaron vociferously nodding with what you were saying. So Callis is in, and immediately, there might be trouble here at the other end. Chance of a run out. Stumps a miss though, and she made her ground. Nat Wraith anyway, I think, but that would have been close for sure. Just needs a little calmness, I think. One ball remaining in the 4th over. 30 for 3. Loss of wickets does this to you in T20 cricket, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we just need to focus on building a little bit of partnership here.
It's going to be called a wide down the leg side. Well, we said before that Molly Robbins has not actually managed to take more than 2 wickets in the game, so she's cooking on gas today, Aaron.
Certainly is, yep. This will be a career best no matter what for Molly Robbins, and in fairness, she's bowled quite magnificently so far in terms of the control, in terms of the discipline with the lines and the lengths. This has been some performance from the Somerset seamer.
I think she's using that breeze a little bit as well, and that's a lovely shot from Callis. Cut away beautifully to the boundary for 4. Really nice stroke. Real high quality shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Stair's been great. We've obviously loaned her from Yorkshire, which is a Tier 2 side, and she's been a great addition on pitch and around the group. She's been incredible, and when she plays shots like that, we probably want to be trying keeping her.
Yeah, absolutely. No great surprise. Such a good shot. 35 for 3 then, after 4 overs of the power play, so 2 more to come. Callis on to 4. Wraith right now, as you can see, on 7. Then we're going to see the first change of bowling. Anderson having gone for 18 off her 2 overs. And the change at this end, we're going to see the introduction into the attack for Somerset of Hannah Jones.
Aaron, you had a pretty good stat for Hannah Jones, didn't you?
I had a wonderful stat for Hannah Jones. So, in terms of her time in the previous county setup for Lancashire, this is incredible. 54 of her previous 109 dismissals came via bowled. So watch out, she'll bowl stump to stump here.
Left armour. Good use of the feet by Nat Wraith that time. And it's 1 more to the total. I think use of the feet is going to be quite important here, Hannah Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say from playing her myself, what Aaron said there, she bowls stump to stump and she doesn't really miss. So use of feet here for Bears will be pretty efficient.
Really blustery, swept. Not a lot of contact, but enough. 1 more to the total. Oh, giving us a leg bye actually by our umpire. So you had surgery. They had to stitch your old hamstring back together.
Yeah. It's luckily today.
You don't do things by half, do you? Not just a little pull, not just a little strain.
No. Can't.
Proper tear that needed surgery.
Yeah, can't do things half-heartedly.
Yeah.
At least if you're going to commit.
And you may see if if you are perhaps heading down to EdgBLASTon, you may see Chloe ambling around with her crutches.
Yeah, some very nice red crutches. So.
Today. It gets a lot of sympathy from everyone, though. That's a lovely shot, actually, by Nat Wraith again. Using her feet that time to Hannah Jones and just lifting her to the boundary ropes for 4. That's a really nice shot.
Yeah, that's an incredible shot. I just love watching Nat bat. She accesses down the ground really, really well. So yeah, it's glad to see she's moved her feet, and we'll try and push that mid-off back.
2 balls remaining in this 5th over. 41 for 3 now. Wraith into double figures. That's another nice shot as well. She just waited for that and has turned it around the corner. I'm not sure it's going to have enough to get to the boundary ropes, but they will get 2. Think of a 3rd, but quite wisely, I think they turned down that 3rd.
Yeah, that was a good bit of running. Unfortunately, I just didn't quite have enough speed to get down there, but an essential 2 nonetheless. And the power play is moving on now.
Last ball of Hannah Jones's first over. 7 on the board from it, and that's going to be a dot ball to finish. So a good finish to the over from Hannah Jones in this instance, and it moves the Bears after 5 overs onto 43 for 3.
I think I'm making way for Atif to come back into the commentary box.
I think you are going to make way for Atif to come and join us, which he will do in a couple of moments' time. So thank you very much, Chloe. We'll catch up with you shortly. Chloe's going to go and find her crutches, which she's left somewhere behind our wonderful new set here on Bears TV. But 5 overs gone then. So runs-wise, Aaron, pretty decent. 43 for 3 is the 3 bit's the problem, but the 43, pretty decent start.
It is, and it's funny because I did do a little bit of research. Chloe asked about the power play numbers. In terms of those winning ones here at EdgBLASTon, it's around about 45 in the first 6. The key, though, is those wickets.
No surprise that Molly Robbins is coming back for a 3rd go, having picked up 3 wickets so far. And no run off the first ball. Atif is back in. What have you made of it so far?
Yeah, it's been, as you say, slightly disappointing to lose those early wickets, but the pace at which they're going is really, really impressive. And I'm really keen to see more of Natasha Wraith. I saw some clips of her getting a half century in an ODI, I think, against Surrey earlier this season. So hopefully she gets some runs here today.
Yeah, she's made a really nice start. Oh, there's a potential stumping there, and the arms have gone out to give the wide. Stair Callis had maybe just strayed slightly out of her crease. And Molly Robbins, I mean, wow, this is some opening spell, isn't it?
3 for 14 after 2.1. You can't ask for much more than that. And she'll be greedy for more.
She will. She's bowling with a breeze coming from her right to left. That's slightly in the air that time from Callis. And again, there's no run. Bit of a full shot. It's one of those where you feel almost it's worth kind of letting Robbins get through her 4 overs and they say, see you later, thanks very much.
Well, this is it. I think there's a chance here for Somerset just to get all of her 4 overs in at the top, which is, I suppose, not as unusual in the women's game, but still, to be able to get through that many without being lined up is pretty good going.
I suppose that's the balance as well, isn't it? If you are Robbins, do you want to get through your 4? That's a lovely shot. That's better from Callis. First time really Robbins has dropped her length and Callis has picked up on it immediately.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that we got used to seeing so much of Stair Callis in the 100 and also playing for the Netherlands. And she's just so experienced and so good, so quick with her hands and taking advantage of absolutely anything that's short and anything on her pads in particular. She can take the game to.
Yeah, one of Nat Wraith's shots from earlier. Really nice one, that. Callis edging the Bears towards the first 50. 48 for 3. 3 balls to come in and out. First time, really, that Robbins has had to have just a little think about how she's got her field set here. And maybe that's one of the things, isn't it? You can, with your activity, kind of, someone who like Robbins who's bowled incredibly well, just seem to have thrown a bit of doubt into her mind right now as to what the plan is here bowling to Callis.
Yeah.
Shuffled the field around, actually, and they've brought the boundary rider in on the offside and pushed a deep square leg back. And they're not going to stop that because same ball, same shot, 4 runs, and it brings up the Bears 50. Yeah,
it's a terrific shot again from the batter, but again, you can't drop short like that. I mean, she's done it twice in a row. Your captain can only support you so much with the field positions and things like that. You gotta you got to do better. You can't complain about getting hit for 4 if you're bowling a long hop like that.
And maybe we are seeing here the reason that you tend to bowl no more
Yeah.
than 2 overs in a row in T20 cricket, because now she is being lined up, having bowled so well.
Well, I think it's 2 poor balls. If she goes a little bit fuller this time, she might, yield a better result. Let's see.
Callis up onto 12, Bears onto 52. She's gone 4 this time. It'll just be a single. Chance of a run out, but again, slightly wayward with a throw. Aaron, I mean, is there any stat that would tell us that bowlers who end up bowling 3 in a row tend to get carted a little bit in their third?
I'm going to be honest, Adam. I think that's even out of my remit.
Andy Zaltzman would be able to do that, no problem.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to say. I mean, even my buddy Phil Long, he's a very good stats man. But yeah, I get it. Like it's sort of conventional wisdom, isn't it? You don't want to get lined up. But she did correct quite well with that fuller delivery, to be fair.
She did. Last ball of the third over from her. Oh, this could have been a tight one, but actually it's been well fielded in the end, and they will nip through for a single. And we get to the end of the power play then, with the Bears on 54 for 3. Callis on 13, Rafe on 15. And in terms of a power play, Aaron, pretty decent.
Very decent indeed, yes. It's higher than the one against Durham, of course, which saw the Bears rack up 193 for 6. Most of that was the result of that onslaught, wasn't it, from Laura Harris, a 16-ball half-century. I mean, that was absolutely unbelievable. So, fingers crossed that we see something similar today. But in terms of that power play, runs-wise, very strong that for the Bears. It's just those 3 wickets which have maybe put a slight blemish on it.
Well, our fingers are very crossed that happens.
Of course.
I think we're going to see, I think it's going to be Amanda Jade Wellington, is it?
Yeah. My old buddy from... Well, she's a big fan of comic books, so we bonded over that once when I interviewed her.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I'll tell you more in a sec.
I know you love your comic books. We were talking about music earlier, weren't we? And I mentioned an artist and you went who? And only when I made reference to the fact that it's the daughter of the famous film director J.J. Abrams. And he's like, oh, right, okay, I'm in now.
Well, there's a quiz question for everybody watching in the comments. Which band could that possibly be?
Yeah, which artist?
No search engineering. Yeah. Which it's an artist. That's how well I remembered it. I couldn't tell the difference from the band. But Amanda Jade Wellington, just really wonderful personality. I'll tell you about her in a sec.
She is. It's blowing a lot out there. And that's... Oh, it's a beauty. And she brought Wraith down and did I think in the flight more than anything. And Wellington strikes with her second ball. And it's a 4th wicket down for the Bears, who move on to 54 for 4. And Wraith is gone for 50.
Yeah, Amanda Jade Wellington, very, very experienced player from Australia. And she just shown that there with a second ball, just offering up a little bit of flight. She knew Wraith was going to go after her. It's disappointing for Wraith, though, because she made a good start. And I think she's had a few starts recently without really being able to convert anything into major runs in the T20 game. But she was looking good. She played some lovely shots, as you said earlier, in the power play. But Amanda Jade Wellington, as she often does, she's a big match player, and she often takes a ton of wickets. If I'm not wrong, and I'm sure Aaron can check this for us, I think she was the top wicket taker in the 100 in one of the seasons where she played for... I want to say the Southern Brave, but I could be wrong. Or maybe it was the Trent Rockets, one or the other.
She was in one of the seasons, also leading wicket taker in the Charlotte Edwards Cup
Yes.
that season as well for the Western Storm. Took 12 wickets with an economy rate of 6.13, which is quite staggering.
She's been a very strong performer for a while, and just a wonderful personality as well. I've got to tell you, just like some cricketers, interviewing them can be a little bit tricky if you don't play golf or paddle. But she. We bonded over a mutual love of comic books and manga, and she's got like a manga sleeve tattoo on her leg, like a full-length manga sleeve tattoo. Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, I was going to say that, but if you know someone who's not into paddle and golf, then you send you along, don't you, really? Because you're bound to have something in common with them.
We'll find out, as long as it's not pop music.
Comedy, yeah, well, yes. Comedy or comic books, and you're the man. Karis Pavley is in. I promoted a spot too early a few minutes ago, but she's off the mark, first ball. So first time we've seen this left-hand, right-hand combination for the Bears, and she's off the mark straight away. It's Karis with a single to her name.
And she's got plenty of time here as well to get into her work. Still the better part of 14 overs to bat. No need to do anything silly. They've already started so well as well. The runs, as we say, are being scored quite reasonably well. You just don't want to drop another wicket at this point, because then you really hand the momentum back to the opposition.
keeping Laura Harris in the hutch as well with her explosive batting for maybe a little later. It's cut away nicely by Callis, but it's a heavily reinforced around backward point and gully, and they're in the covers. They were all quite tightly packed in.
Yeah, they look quite close together, don't they? They look not unlike a band, sort of on stage. You know when
they do. Yeah. A bit like us up three in these stalls up here. Again, this time Callis will get it away, and that one's going to run away to the boundary because although we had a fair bit of rain here in the last 24 hours or so, I don't think it's penetrated the ground much at all actually, or making any difference after the very dry spring we've seen, and that's 4 more to the total.
That's a lovely shot, that. Bit too much flight from Amanda Jade Wellington. She's going to go searching for that turn. She does turn the ball a fair bit, so to get forward and nail her drive and pick out the tiny gap between those cover fielders, she's done very well there.
Decent bit of flight as well in this breeze because it's blowing quite strongly out there right now. That's a lovely shot too. She's put that in the gap, but it is going to be cut off this time, and they'll turn for a second, and it is 2 to the total. And Callis moves on to 19, and that's the end of the 7th over. The score moves on to 61 for 4, and the Bears have made a really good start. 61 for 4. Chloe Skelton is coming into the attack for over number 8. Pavely on strike. The score on 61. The loss of the 4 wickets, the worrying part, but still a long way to go in this innings. Pavely immediately forced onto the back foot. Plays it out nicely. Got the shades on. Not sure we need the shades today, do we?
Well, it could be a little bit bright. There's spots of brightness. It's pretty clear actually out there. I think it's a good day for shades.
Good shot from Pavely. She's picked that up nicely into the leg side. Will be cut off, but they will return for a second, quite comfortably in the end. Despite almost a mid-wicket collision between the two of them. You can't wear shades inside, man.
No, future's so bright, gotta wear sunglasses inside.
Dear, oh dear. That's a lovely forward defensive. She's trying to use her feet that time, Pavely, but I think she was spotted by Skelton on that occasion.
They are really big sunglasses, though, to be fair. I mean, they cover that's humongous.
Do you remember the old TV programme V? They look like from the V. Yes, probably you're too young for that, actually, I'm thinking. Well, that's a lovely shot from Caris Pavely again, but she's picked out the fielder once more. She'll only get a single. She played it really nicely. You don't remember V?
No.
Aliens arriving from another world to take over the country, and Americans... the renegades used to fight against them, but they all wore these really... They used to eat lizards and rats and mice, the humans.
I think I'd probably give that a miss anyway,
Okay.
if I'm honest with you. It doesn't sound
You're
fun.
a man who reads comic books, for
I do.
goodness sake.
I know, but I like manga.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
there's similar glasses to those.
They're big shades, but as you were saying, I think her field has been set really well, and there's more attention being put to it right now for the left-hander. So they're making sure that the backward square leg is deep, and mid-wicket is also really deep on the boundary. So fine leg is up inside the circle. An opportunity here for Callis to play that pull shot she likes.
Yeah, good work by Sophie Luff, the Somerset captain, just to change the field and react to what's going on. There's just going to be 1 to the total.
I mean, as a captain, it's got to be so frustrating that you set the field for a specific kind of delivery, and then she's reinforced the leg side, hoping for a straighter ball. It's about a foot outside off stump.
Bowlers bowling to their field. It'll never catch on.
No.
Just 4 off the over, though, here from Chloe Skelton so far. And again, that's another shot from Caris Pavely, which will go into the leg side and just bring a single. And if you're a Somerset supporter, that's a very good over. Just 5 from it. 66 for 4 then from 8 overs. So as we say, the run rate's good, but those loss of 4 wickets, Artif, is the worrying part of this story.
This is it. They've got to find the balance here, the Bears. They've got to make sure that they don't sort of go into a hole, but equally they can't afford to lose a wicket just yet. I think they'd like to get to overs 12 or 13 before they sort of unleash Laura Harris, and she can play with the kind of license they want her to be able to play with to really be able to come out and swing. If you brought Laura Harris out there in the middle now, you'd sort of give her a slightly different role, which is possibly where she isn't best used. So this is a challenging phase for the Bears. I think they could afford to absorb a couple more overs like this, but maybe not too many more.
Hannah Jones is coming back into the attack from this pavilion end. Don't forget as well, if you are liking the stream and you're watching on the stream, do give it a like. You have to click on the button, don't you?
Yeah,
the
people forget that to like live videos, you got to like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Comment away as well.
Yeah, we love your comments throughout the afternoon, of course. As we said, there'll be 2 separate streams, this one for the Bears women and one later for the men when they take on Yorkshire. That'll be underway about 20 to 7 on our YouTube channel this evening. We need to have a little break in between, don't we?
Well, yeah, let's see.
Well, hopefully the weather won't intervene on that one. Again, Payfleet's done well there. She's pulled it into the leg side. Fairly straight, though. Oh, now I wonder if there's a bit of an injury here. There could be a problem.
Oh, dear.
Away to our left-hand side as we look down. Pavley has come back and got 2 for the total, but I think on collecting the ball, may have just lost her footing, and immediately the physio is on, and they're asking immediately for some assistance as well. So 68 for 4. This may give us a slight delay here in the middle of Hannah Jones's over. She's delivered 2 balls of the 9th over. So with a score on 68 for 4 as things stand, the 2 umpires just coming together as well, and an opportunity for everyone to have a drink while they assess the issue. And let's hope this isn't too serious, but the big medical bag is being brought on as well down below. In terms of other games going on today, Aaron, there's one other this afternoon, I believe, isn't there?
Yes, there is. I'll just get you the score update from that in a moment's time. So it's the game between Essex and the Blaze taking place at the County Ground in Derby, where Essex are 38 for 3 after 8 overs.
All right, 38 for 3 as things stand. Remember, it's our Rainbow Laces game today as well.
Yes, it is. Absolutely committed to LGBT. To the community, and it's really great to be able to support them. I've noticed the stumps as well, actually. Today have the LGBT branding on the rainbow.
You've got better eyesight than me.
You know why?
I know. I need some sunglasses.
What you need to get
I
yourself.
need some shades.
Yeah. me and Skelton. We got to start a band.
You're looking
now as in Skelton.
You were looking very cool.
Thank you very much.
Were you wearing these in Pakistan in the winter as a Champions Trophy? I suspect you were in commentary.
For about 20 minutes.
Really? That's all.
I took them off when Mr. Gavaskar came in the room. I was like, yeah.
Out of respect.
Out
you
of
have
respect.
to just do that, don't you?
Also, I was worried he was going to call me names.
So based on what we've seen so far in this in the opening we've had 8.2 overs. As we say, the runs are good. The loss of wickets is always a huge issue, isn't it? It
is. I mean, we're having a little delay at the moment because one of the players is receiving treatment, and it's not looking wonderful, if I'm honest. Hopefully we'll get an update and she'll be okay. But the players have all huddled up. They've given the player plenty of space right now. In terms of the game situation, this is a crucial moment. Like the Bears, they can't break their concentration. I think they've done reasonably well. Last over just the 5 runs, and things slow down a little bit post 4 wickets as you sort of expect, but you have to rebuild. You have to take that moment. You can't just keep hitting and risk being shot out for sort of 80, 90, 100. You've got to make sure you give yourself that platform. We know 144 is the average score here at EdgBLASTon as well in women's T20, so that's got to be the first target, and in order to get there they've got to build a partnership. Both these players, as you know better than most, very, very capable. Stair Callis, lots of experiences we've talked about, Caris Pavley as well, and it's that big X factor, Laura Harris. You don't want to bring her in inside 10 overs because she can't play with freedom.
Well, I was going to say, is that the debate, Aaron? Just to bring you in on this. So the weighting of Laura, the weight for Laura Harris, because there was always an argument in the men's game. If we take Joss Butler, there was always an argument say, but you want your best hitters, your best batters to face as many balls as possible. But yet we're in a scenario where we're leaving Laura Harris to a little bit later. Is there any statistical evidence that backs up that you need your best batters to face more balls, or when it's someone as explosive as she is, you're better off having them for a shorter period to have a maximum impact?
Well, I think there's 2 schools of thinking here. with Laura Harris, because in terms of that Durham game, we've got to look back on that one, and the majority of the boundaries were against spin. So in terms of the middle overs, it would make sense to bring her in after 10 overs, try and attack the spin, really take that aggressive approach. But I mean, obviously there is the other school of thought, which is a case of, well, bring in your best batters. And Laura Harris has been an absolute superstar for the Bears so far. So I think it all just depends on what kind of school of thought you go for. If it was me personally, I think next wicket she's in. Regardless of when that falls, Laura Harris has got to come in and have that impact. And it's funny, actually, because I had a question for you two guys in the studio, but in terms of this decision to win the toss and have a bowl, that in itself was bold, because we didn't have a chance to go through this. But in terms of the 6 matches where that has been the scenario from the team who won the toss, only 2 of them have been won by the team who won the toss and chose to bowl. So I'll throw back. Let's take a look at the situation here at EdgBLASTon at the minute. Who do you think is in the driver's seat at this stage?
68 for 4. I mean, like we say, the runs are good for the Bears so far. However, it's the wickets that are the big issue, isn't it? I mean, there is still batting to come, but however, the opportunity to lose 4 wickets as early as they did always feels that when you get to those last kind of 5, 6, 7 overs, you just don't have as much freedom as you would have.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of point, right? You've got to have the platform to work with. We're getting some applause. The applause you can hear is because we've managed to, there's been some treatment being administered and she's made her way off the pitch. But yeah, I think, again, for the Bears, again, it's all connected to the Laura Harris thing for me. Yes, she has to come in next, and they know that she has to come in next. So you want her to give her the kind of platform that gives her a license to swing. This is the reason, like, power hitters are so effective down the order is because they've given that license to say, well, go and swing. Look, we've got this many, we've got a platform, we've laid the base. Now you go and swing. But I mean, if you put them in a position where, right, go play yourself in, it's on you to build that platform. Now, obviously, it works well for a team like England at the moment. England's men's team, you mentioned Joss Buttler coming down the order. It's because they've got Jamie Smith to come up the order. So they've kind of top and tail like that. I think a similar idea is in place here for the Bears. You know, you've got Perrin at the top who, you know, isn't as aggressive as Laura Harris, but where are you going to find another Laura Harris style player? But she's still very effective at the top, you know, and then you've got Harris in the middle. So for me, I think the Bears, if they could squeeze the next 4 or 5 overs without dropping a wicket and go at roughly a run a ball, I think that's the platform they'll be looking for.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this break. Everything is ready to restart here. Back with once more seeing Hannah Jones with the ball in hand. It'll be interesting to see who benefits probably from that little break, because it was a chance potentially for a bit of regrouping, which we saw the Somerset players all go together as well. Obviously concerned about the player that was down injured, but also a chance just to reaffirm your plans, your processes. And actually, you've got two batters out there on their own just having a chat. So whether it works for them as well, as Caris does come down and tries to use her feet this time to Hannah Jones. Gets no run for it, but I think the use of the feet will be quite important against a bowler like Hannah Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. It varies her length so effectively, and also the kind of flight she gives. It's very hard to settle against Hannah Jones.
Jones is back in again, straight down the ground again from Pavely. Well fielded by Hannah Jones. It's perfect, really, for Somerset, isn't it?
3 dots in a row. There's pressure on this last ball of the over. I suspect we might see at least an attempted big shot here.
Well, I was going to say the 4th ball after 3 dots is always called the action ball, isn't it? Let's see what action Caris Pavely tries here, and she cuts away. Fairly straight, so it'll just be a single. And that's a really good over from Hannah Jones. 69 for 4 then, after 9 overs for the Bears.
I don't mind that shot from Caris, actually, just holding her shape, not losing her shape and trying to do a wild hoik over mid-wicket or what have you. Just, you know, manage the situation. It's not ideal to score just the 3 off that over, but it would be less ideal to be 2 and a wicket down. So take the single, pick your battle for the next over. It works.
If you are just joining us, thank you for clicking on to our Bears TV. A reminder to like the stream if you have joined us. Artif Namaz alongside me, Adam Bridge here. Aaron's tucked away in the corner with the stats. He's beavering away, finding some really good numbers for us. Partnership of 15 for these two now, 69 for 4. We'll just run through, if you have just joined us, the story so far in terms of runs and batters that were out, if you can, Aaron.
Yeah, certainly can do that. So in terms of the current situation, Bears 69 for 4 at the minute here at EdgBLASTon. Davina Perrin out for 15 from 11. Abby Freeborn, LBW to Robbins for 2. We'll just see this delivery from Griffiths.
Oh, Griffiths into the attack for a first bowl. Alex Griffiths from the Birmingham end. A dot ball to start.
Yep, and we also saw Izzy Wong, who was batting at 3, promoted up the order for this game. It's something which the Bears are looking to utilise this season. She went for 1 from 3 deliveries, and that 4th and final wicket was that of Nat Wraith, who was clean bowled by the Australian leg spinner, Amanda Jade Wellington.
He was Stair Callis on 20, but not seen too much of the strike in the last couple of overs because a lot of it has been with Caris Pavley, and she adds another single to the total. She moves on to 9, 70 for 4. That flexible batting order is obvious to see with Izzy coming in early. Just a bit kind of going back to the old days of the pinch hitter when you lose someone early on, wasn't it?
Well, I like that. I like that there's a willingness to be a little bit creative and take a chance. It didn't pay off today, but you got to give yourself a shot sometimes.
Good start here from Griffiths, almost at the halfway stage, this being over 10. That's a lovely shot from Stair Callis again. Not quite going to get to the boundary edge. It's going to be fielded and kept in play. And there will just be 2 to the total. And I think a shot like that probably deserved a 4, but just not quite there.
Yeah, just held up a little bit on the outfield. I think some parts of the ground may be retaining a little bit more moisture than others. But it was a really lovely shot, as you say. It was all placement and that focus on making sure it was just wide of the fielder at extra cover.
72 for 4 then. Partnership now up to 18. Callis, that's a lovely shot again. It's going to find the boundary ride and will just be 1 more to the total.
Sophie Luff in her fields, just really well set. Just, you know, as you say, it's immensely frustrating as well as a batter when you nail your drive perfectly across the surface, and they're hard to get because the batters are mixing up the bowlers are mixing up their lengths, and you nail a drive and you get a single for it each time. Excellent captaincy, I would say.
Switch around as well because we've got the left and the right obviously in at the moment. No run there for Caris Pavley again. Saw a bit of England action, of course, last season. 73 for 4 now. She's got 9 from 15, so a bit slow going to start with, but as we say, in terms of just trying to recover a situation and build that platform for when Laura Harris does enter the fray, it's good. So giving a clump, and it's caught. Well, she got plenty of it, but not enough. Griffith strikes with the final ball of the 10th over, and Caris Pavley is on her way. Frustration may be kicking in, just 9 off 15 deliveries, but she's been caught, and the Bears now 73 for 5.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing for Caris Pavley. She saw that length, it was a little bit fuller in, that sort of hitting arc, eyes lit up, went after it, but again, it's the captaincy of Sophie Love. Has the player deep and she's about 10 meters in from the boundary edge, knowing that that's where it's likely to land, and a terrific catch taken in the deep. Just been outthought on that occasion. And now Laura Harris is going to make her way out to the middle with 10 overs to bat. Plenty of time to do some damage, but I'm just curious to see how she plays. Will she moderate her playing style owing to the scenario? Or does she commit to the power hitting display we've seen of her from late?
Fran Wilson with a catch. Good catch diving forward as well. She took that really well.
It was windy as well. The wind was taking it away from her a little bit. And just really good technique there.
Halfway through the innings then, Aaron, 73 for 5. We talked about the pass score being about 144. Looks like we could be heading in that kind of direction, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think 150 plus would be what the Bears are aiming for, if not 160. Of course, it'll take a few big partnerships, but of course Laura Harris could be the key figure here as that first one is carved away.
It could. It's Wellington who's back into the attack. Just the 1 over from Hannah Jones. But this partnership now becomes really key, Arthur.
It does. This is it really for the Bears. This is going to be the difference between 140 and 160, I would say.
74 for 5. Changing in the field here for Wellington. It's time to Harris facing her first ball.
And they would have bowled to each other, played against each other many times before this pair. I'm sure they know each other well, and Wello wants to set her field in a way that there's plenty of protection. The fielder in the deep is almost dead on almost point, really, a deep point position, because they know that she likes to play behind the square as well, through the covers, and in front of square on the leg side usually.
And we've got a long on out here as well. That's the first shot, and it's a full toss, and it's well fielded this time by Wilson. And it's just 1 to the total.
I mean, she nearly was an absolute pie, wasn't it? Let's be honest, it wasn't a great delivery, but she got away with it a little bit. But so did Harris, really. That could have if she hit it a little bit better, it could have landed right in the hands of Fran Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson, who has already taken that one terrific catch to remove Paverley. Callis with a very loud shout of no.
Breeze is picking up, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, and it's blowing across as we look from left to right. Wellington trying to use that breeze, just flights that one again. Chance for a run out here, maybe. Oh, that would have been tight, I think. The throw had been better around the stumps, but they do get through for the single, 76 for 5.
That could have been disastrous. It's a really ill-judged run, that. I mean, they've made it, so it's okay, but the last thing you want in this situation is for Laura Harris to get run out at the keeper's end. Or the bowlers, either end. Just run out in general. You don't want that right now. Need her to spend some time in the middle. And again, she'll be quite cagey as well, I think. I think she'll resist the urge to go after Wellington. Or it could be wrong. Let's find out.
Yeah, the running not been as good since Perrin was out. No, she's gone. She's gone straight away, straight down the ground. That's a massive hit for 6. Effortless from Laura Harris.
Yeah, Amanda Jade Wellington giving the ball plenty of air on that occasion. Lots of flight. Laura Harris just picked it up so quickly. I mean, this is the art of it, really, where picking up the flight is the hard bit. And so we take a look at that. She's lined it up beautifully and gave it that golf swing down through the line, straight as an arrow. Big 6, big power.
Last ball of Wellington's over to come, 82 for 5. She goes big again. Hasn't got all of this time, and there's a chance for a catch. Oh, it's just plugged in the dirt, and it's not going to go over the ropes. It's going to stop, having gone up so high. The attempted catch from Chloe Skelton, who didn't quite get there. She'll get 2 for it in the end, and that's the end of an eventful over. 84 for 5. Harris already on to 9 from 3 deliveries after 11 overs. So 84 for 5 then, the Bears. Hannah Jones is about to bowl her 3rd over, the 12th of the innings. Aaron was getting very excited when Laura Harris hit that first 6. We'll come to in a moment to find out what he's got exciting to tell us, as Jones will start to Callis, and there'll be no run.
Yeah, very exciting indeed. So in terms of the overall strike rates in this year's Blast so far, Laura Harris is striking at 217.85, which is absolutely ludicrous.
It is. Callis will just get a bit of bat on that, but there's no run again. We just need to get her on strike, really, then, don't we?
Well, this is it. There's an air of desperation about the way Jones is bowling right now. It's just about keeping Callis on strike as much as possible, which is an unusual thing to want to do with a set batter who's faced 19 deliveries.
Sun comes out beautifully, and that's just going to be the single that I think Harris will crave. They just keep it at 1. There was a moment they thought about a second, but I don't think they were really thinking about a second, were they?
They sprinted that first run, didn't they? Just conserved the energy for the big swing that's coming. There she goes. She's taking that middle stump guard, which is somewhat unusual, I'm told, in modern T20 cricket. They tend to give themselves plenty of room and go sort of legs or 2 legs or something like that, but middle stump for Harris.
No surprise there's a long on and a long off. So instead she plays it out into the offside. There's no run.
It's good bowling, that. Just gave it an extra bit of air. Just held it back a touch because Harris gave her cards away. Well, she showed her cards early. She just stepped away, made it clear she was going to try and hit through that offside because there's no fielder's deep set.
Yeah, the boundary rider's on the leg side, so she goes with a sweep this time. There's half an appeal, And a throw to the bowler's end was probably never going to have Laura Harris in too much trouble. 1 to the total. And again, another really good over from Hannah Jones. I blame Aaron because he teed her up pre-game that she'd be really good, and here she is about to bowl the final ball of her 3rd over, and only gone for 11 runs so far. She's going for a boundary now though, and it's not Harris, it's Callis this time, who plays a beautiful shot through the covers for 4.
Yeah, it's a terrific shot, well adjusted as well, because again she made that advance down the wicket, did steer Callis, and the bowler did see her coming. So if you notice here, she makes a bit of room, bowler cramps the angle, but she manages to manufacture the right positioning to get it through the covers and pick out the big old gap. Nobody in the covers, easy boundary. Just like that, with that 6 in the previous over, the boundary in this over, doesn't look like a bad score, 90 for 5 after 12.
No, it's not bad. That wicket column is still the worry, isn't it? But Harris on 9 from 5 balls, Callis on 30 from 21. So both of these making a really good contribution, a partnership now of 17. But we're going to see the return of Ellie Anderson from this pavilion end. She went for 18 in her 2 overs so far. I thought the other day, Harris, yes, she took the spinners apart, but she's quite at home against a bit of pace bowling as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she certainly is. Honestly, it's a case of any kind of bowling she will have a proper good whack at, and I'll touch upon that point in a second as Anderson bowls here.
That's going to be a wide, and 1 more to the total.
Yeah, also leads the Bears in terms of 6s. So that was her 5th 6 already in the campaign, and you just look at her career bests. I mean, she scored 68 not out from 29 in a Big Bash match against the Hobart Hurricanes, and pre-season as well for the Big Bash this season in a pre-season friendly against the Thunder after this delivery from Anderson.
Oh, you little tease, Aaron. She's missed that completely. She swept herself off her own feet.
Just be careful not to get hit. We've noticed a few, I don't know if you've noticed, it's just me, but there's been quite a few hit wickets in sort of professional cricket recently, so you just want to be a little bit careful sliding around that crease area. She's smiling. She's a bit embarrassed, I think, about losing her footing, but
she's certainly given that the old heave-ho. There's no 2 ways about it. That was probably heading in our direction if she had connected with that. Anderson in again. Oh, that's a lovely shot. She just waited for that, and you know, she's effortlessly kind of helped that round the corner. There was no, when you consider the brute force that she was attempting the ball before, that was delightful.
Yeah, it really was. Just waited for the ball to hit the bat, really. On that occasion, she knew the angle was going to be coming in towards her. Bowler trying to cramp, Anderson trying to cramp that hitting arc down the ground. But if you just wait for it to come on, playing square of the wicket, again with no protection behind square on the leg side, that was always an opportunity. And there's still no protection. It's a deep mid-wicket in place and a deep extra cover. But other than that, slightly exposed here is Anderson.
This time she's bowled a full toss, a slower ball, helped on its way for 4 more into that very same gap from moments before. And we've been kind of complimentary of Sophie Luff and her captaincy and field placing so far. Maybe that's a gap that needs plugging.
I don't think that's the ball she thought she was going to bowl, to be fair. It's sort of almost a waist-high full toss that time from Anderson. And he can't really do that with the field you've got set, and also to the batter of the quality of Laura Harris. She didn't even get maximum contact on that ball, but still managed to get it across to the boundary using the pace of the ball. And now finally that field, now we do have protection, so there's a deep backward square leg in position now specifically for that shot.
It means we've got a mid-off who's come into the circle, so there's no long off right now. Oh, she's still gone down the leg side, she's gone around mid-wicket, and it's just gone over the ropes for 6 more. Brings up the 100 for the Bears, 105. And Harris is just starting to kick into gear.
Yeah, she's playing some terrific shots, and you almost feel bad, really, for the captain of the opposite team. What do you do when a batter can just do that? Smash the ball over mid-wicket, smash it over square leg. Now, if you're the bowler, you really want to hang the ball outside the off stump, but even that is quite a challenge considering how far across the stumps Laura Harris stands. Such an imposing batter, so powerful. Well, this could be exciting.
15 off the over so far. 2 balls to come in over 13. This time she gives herself some room, and a slower ball, clever from Anderson, and there's no contact from Harris. We did stop you in your prime. What was her score in the warm-up game for the Big Bash, Aaron? Sorry.
102 from 46, and actually it leads beautifully into those past couple of shots we've just seen. The major scoring areas, square leg, deep mid-wicket.
There we go. She was outfoxed there. Really good ball that from Ellie Anderson. A really good response in what's been a tough over. She's gone for 15 so far. One ball to come in over 13. That's gone leg side again. It's just going to fall short of the fielder. And they'll just take the single. So Harris will keep the strike. She moves on to 24 from 11. Callis is on 30 off 21. And after 13 overs, the Bears are 106 for 5.
Yeah, I think she came back quite well there, Anderson, like hanging the ball. I think she got away with that last one a little bit. I think hanging the ball outside the off stump was the way to go. That change of pace was well noted as well. But I think Laura Harris is the kind of batter, and we've just heard it from, from the stats really from Aaron that that's her hitting area. So you can't really bowl into her body at length because she's going to swivel. She can play through, behind square, in front of square on the leg side, and be very, very comfortable. You want to make her reach for it. You want to push it outside her off stump. If they don't do that, it could get quite violent, really. That 4-4-6 sequence, it was quite... It's kind of changed the game a little bit. Look, I mean, now with 7 overs to go, if you could get another 4.5 or 5 overs of Harris, the Bears would very much be in the driver's seat, I would say.
Yeah, you would be looking at that score that we said around the 160, 170 mark, as opposed to something around the average here of the 144. Skelton and the glasses back on from the Birmingham end. And it's a full toss for Harris to fetch from outside the off stump, which she does adequately for a single.
You'll take that. It's a great result, that, for Somerset. Again, Skelton very cleverly making Harris have to manoeuvre across the stumps. And that's what Harris, a batter like Harris, she's all about the economy of movement, really. You notice that ball just coming in, just little adjustments of the bat. Callis very quietly, he's on 30 off 21 as well. She's not getting the attention, but she's batting well.
No, but two great set batters here now to provide this platform for the rest of the innings. That drive's going to lead to a 1-0 sent back. Callis sends Harris back, who was, I think, quite desperate to get herself back on strike. Wellington doing the fielding, I think, on that occasion. And there's no run to the total. Swept, but straight to the fielder again. They've done quite a bit of picking out the fielders today.
Yeah.
The Bears batters. 107 for 5. Just taking a moment. I think Callis just assessing the options at the same time as Chloe Skelton is just thinking about where to place the field, because again they've attempted the sweep, but there's a massive area that was open, a boundary.
Sending that square leg fielder back deep. We've got deep mid wicket and deep square leg, which sort of implies that she's going to try and get quite tight to Callis here.
She's coming round now, I notice as well, Chloe. So that breeze rustling away big time. Oh, missed and gathered by the keeper.
It's a good bit of bowling, really. Excellent flight, completely outfoxed Callis. She was looking for a big booming drive. I think she got the toe end of the bat on that, which helped it bounce over the stumps. And ultimately rescued her, but 3 dots in sequence. Big shot coming.
You would think so. I think she attempted it there and she's gone straight down the ground, but may have just held up a little in the breeze, and it'll just be 1. And this has turned into a very good over here from Chloe Skelton again.
Yeah, she bowled very smartly. Such a great awareness of the batters and she's bowling to in the matchups, and also just making sure her field is exactly where she wants it. Each ball taking an extra moment, bringing deep cover inside the circle now, sending long off back to sort of a wide-ish long off position. Long on is back as well. Deep mid-wicket and deep backward square leg.
Good battle this. What's Harris going to do? It's a full toss and she'll just hammer it down the ground for 4. Now you can move your fielders as much as you want. If you bowl a duffer like that, you're going to get the treatment, really, aren't you? If we're going to be honest.
This is it. It's exactly what you're saying. It's a low after all that, to bowl a low full toss. Maybe just guilty of taking her eye off the ball a little bit on that occasion. The bowler, she bowled a really good over up until then, really astute, but Laura Harris is the kind of batter that can punish you and really make you regret any small mistake. And that was just cheeky, really, because so many deep fielders, she managed to find the one part of the ground where there wasn't one. There was a long on in place. Look, just goes wide of her, down to long off, just wide of the strip. Excellent batting, just brute and brains.
Amanda Jade Wellington is coming back on. 6 overs to go. 112 for 5. From this kind of position, I think you'd be hoping for something around the 160 to 170 mark. And as we've said, it all depends on these two really. Callis on 31, Harris on 29. And another over still to come, of course, from Molly Robbins, who's taken 3 of the wickets to fall so far. She's got 1 in the hatch too. Callis this time giving that the long handle, just for a single though.
Yeah, just kind of, it was all about manoeuvring it and getting a single and getting off strike. I think the game plan is pretty clear right now. They've got to unleash Laura Harris on this team, although this is the matchup that I think works for Laura Harris the least. Amanda Jade Wellington, lots of flight and deception. This will be an interesting battle.
Well, I would say that's round 1 to Laura Harris. That's a brilliant shot, beautifully executed. Dragged from outside the off stump to square leg for 4.
Well, this is the interesting, we talk about the hitting arc of, we've gone on and on about it, that square leg region, and that mid-wicket region that Aaron was talking about as well. I mean, this is the thing, a bowler like Amanda Jade Wellington isn't going to take a backward step. She's going to try and get straight as she did there.
Oh, that's a run out, and Callis has gone. And it's one of those fortuitous moments for Somerset. Oh, and you feel for Callis, 32 from 27 balls, and the ball just diverted by Amanda Jade Wellington onto the stumps, and Callis is gone, and the Bears lose a 6th wicket, 117 for 6, and it's in the cruelest of circumstances.
Yeah, it's the worst possible dismissal as a batter. Non-strikers then getting run out. A nice bit of skill there from Amanda Jade Wellington, because that ball was hit very hard again by Laura Harris. She was actually just managed to get a hand down on it and flick it onto the stumps. Callis is walking off. She can feel a little bit disappointed, but she played some lovely shots and kind of held the innings together a little bit for the Bears. It's an underrated role, not as glamorous as the role that Laura Harris plays, but it was a very important one for making sure this innings didn't crumble.
The best moment for me there is when Amanda J. Wellington walked away, having smiled about the wicket, and then put her other hand over the one that diverted the ball, just to kind of cushion the pain a little, because that would have hurt.
And it was a gentle high five with her teammate afterwards as well.
Very much so.
But she batted well, Callis, though. I think she should be pleased with that. It was a nice knock, some lovely shots in there, and that was very, very valuable. It might not come across on a scoreboard like much. It was 32 off 27 deliveries, but it was something that was very necessary, and it really rescued the Bears' innings. Now there's still plenty of time for a flourish for Laura Harris.
Well, we're just going to see what's going on here, because Taylor has come out to bat, but there seems to be a problem with her bat. Would be my go. Yeah, she's come out with a bat, but she's now changing her bat.
There's 3 different manufacturers there as well, so.
And the umpires want to have a look as well. So maybe there was an issue with the bat potentially.
Well, they do check the sizes of bats these days. It's something that became very popular in this season of the IPL. That device that checks the width of these bats. So your bat has to go all the way through that device from the umpire. If it doesn't go through, it's not a legal bat anymore. So
they're making sure that bat's acceptable. Wow.
Yeah, they've got this. This is going to be a standardized practice, I imagine. There you go. That bat's okay. It's gone all the way through the device. But
Millie Taylor's looking at it going, well, I don't want to bat with this.
Well, this is it now, because of the changing widths and angles. It's not always just the depth of the bat as well. Sometimes it's the width of it, and that's where sort of they've been growing, and particularly in sort of leagues where there's not a ton of regulation, those bats sneak through. But in this year's IPL, it's become a standardized practice to check the size of the bats, especially if an opposition player makes a request for it.
Well, and what's quite peculiar here, Aaron, I'll bring you in on this because you probably know the numbers on it, but the umpire has now kept that bat, and I'm assuming that bat's going to be given to one of the other officials and tucked away because it's deemed illegal.
She's going to take it home for the kids.
Well, yeah, obviously that bat cannot be used, so that'll have to be taken off the field of play as it hasn't gone through the gauge. Just to go back to that partnership as well, we were speaking there about the almost fire and ice approach there of Callis and Harris, but in terms of that 6th wicket stand, stood at 44. That is by far and away the biggest 6th wicket partnership that the Bears have had all season long. The previous best in the T20s was 11. So in terms of the bigger picture of this first innings, setting a competitive target, that's a massive, massive boost, isn't it, from what could have been a very perilous situation.
Well, am I thinking here we're waiting for Sarah Bartlett, who is the match referee, to maybe come and collect this bat. Because the logic would surely have said you take it off with whom it came, in essence. So
it's being sent to the lab for further inspection.
Well, it must be. I mean,
well,
how bizarre.
They're just going to chuck it. I'll take it. You can take it across to Cannons Hill Park and play some cricket there this weekend.
Well, it's just causing a delay to the game, which has already been delayed, obviously, because of that serious injury that we saw a little while ago. So, timing-wise, because obviously cut-off, well, we'd probably be approaching the cut-off, and we're still only bowling over number 15 at this moment in time, because we only have one umpire as things stand.
Yeah, that was a bit needless, really. I feel like anybody could have taken that bat and chucked it off the side of the pitch and dealt with it a little bit later. But it is a major part of modern cricket regulations. There's so many things in favour of the batters that it's good to see a little bit of... I think it's good to see a little bit of regulation creeping in about monitoring the size of bats and making sure that they're not given... batters aren't given that much of a free rein.
You'd think someone may have checked before they went out with it, though.
Well, you'd think, but this is it. So now the way it's done now, and we saw it happen over and over again, as I mentioned in the IPL, is that the umpire checks it as the batter comes on field. And normally it takes a second, in out, you're done. But it's very rare for the bat to make it onto the field and be the wrong dimensions. So I'm just very curious what happens to that bat. When I'm off commentary in a couple of balls, I'm going to go and investigate and find out what happens to the bat that was too big for this game. Yeah, I might try and get a hold of it.
Well, I'm just more interested in the fact that the music's being played around the arena is being danced to by some of the Somerset players, which is great, but it just shows the kind of delays. And there was a lot of looking at watches there with the umpires, as if to say, well, actually, what is the cut-off time now? And I wonder as well, I mean, what would be good to know when you're going off to your investigations, was that a query that was raised by the umpires or by the opposition when she came into bat? But we'll see. Finally, Harris is back on strike. And she's back with a 6. Well, there we go.
That's gone straight into the sound tent as well. I hope my friend Adam's okay, who's in there. Adam Pearce, I hope you're doing all right, buddy. Jonathan's in there as well. But, man, it's like that delay did absolutely nothing to break Laura Harris's concentration. It was there for it. The flight to delivery again. She's had the wool over the eyes of Wellington so far in this rivalry. Still smiling, though.
Here we go. 39 she moves on to with that 6 and then sweeps one for 4. Just back with some square. Behind square leg. Lovely shot. 10 off those last 2 balls, so there may have been a bit of disruption. However, thank you to Artif, who will obviously return shortly once we are at the mid-innings interval. Oh, here we go. EdgBLASTon for everyone dancing going on down below.
I like their t-shirts.
I was going to say the back's fantastic, isn't it, with the rainbow colours on.
They're pretty stylish bears.
Very much so. And we've got a pretty stylish bear out in the middle right now. Laura Harris, 43 off 17. A total of 127 for 6. Alex Griffiths has only bowled the 1 over so far. Is coming back in. And what have you made of what you've seen from elsewhere from Laura Harris in particular?
Laura Harris, take a bow. She clearly likes batting at EdgBLASTon, doesn't she? 43 off 17. She's just something to watch, isn't she?
She is, and she's got a watch for the moment because she's at the non-striker's end, and that's a drive that's hit the stumps, this time without the deflection of the bowler. So it's not another unfortunate run out, instead it's 1 to the total, and Taylor's off the mark. What did you make of all that bat nonsense that was just going on?
I know, carnage. I mean, it's pretty tough. Millie's coming in without a bat, but she's been using in the nets to warm up. But that's just how they make bats nowadays, isn't it?
Griffiths is back in from the Birmingham end. Oh, that's a shot, isn't it? Look at that. It's going to... Oh, what a brilliant bit of fielding. Almost kept in, but it's going to go for 4 anyway. And that's unlucky, because that was some excellent fielding over on that far boundary. I think it was it Amelie Monday who was doing the fielding that time?
Yeah.
And it's 4 more to the total.
What an emotional roller coaster. You see the shot go out and your jaw is just on the floor. But that was a brilliant piece of work there on the boundary.
Harris is on to 47. Oh, just clubbed back down the ground. That's going all the way for 4. and it brings up another 50 for Laura Harris. This time it's taken her 19 balls, so she's slacking a little, 3 more than against Durham. But what an innings that's been, and you know, we've sat here debating where she should bat, how often you need her in the middle, but I think she's justifying the decision that's been made by the Bears as she brings up her 50.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit speechless, if I'm perfectly honest. She's just incredible.
51 off 19 deliveries, 136 for 6 as things stand. Griffiths back in again, and she's got plenty of that. It's over the fielder who was at short fine leg. It's not quite going to make the ropes, and it will just be 2 more to her total and 2 more to the Bears total, 138 for 6. So we've got 4.2 overs to go. All of a sudden, we were talking about whether 160 was feasible. We're now, the way she's going, if she can carry this on for another couple of overs, we're looking at potentially 180, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. She carries on, and her strike rate popped up there. 268 strike rate. That, oh, incredible.
It's ridiculous. What's Griffiths going to do? Angles that into the stumps. Just going to be 1 this time for Harris, and it brings Millie Taylor on strike.
Yeah, Aaron was saying earlier the average score here at EdgBLASTon was 144, I believe. Yeah, all right there. So we're with 4 overs to go, 139, in very strong position here.
Looks a great deck as well, to be fair, doesn't it? Looks very, very good to bat on for sure. Taylor will look for a single, but I think Laura Harris is going to say, no, you're fine, I'll keep the strike, which she does. 139 for 6 then, with 4 overs remaining. And as we say, a run rate of 8.69. So 4 overs to go then, and the Bears are 139 for 6. Hannah Jones is going to bowl her final over. So how are we doing now in terms of her strike rate in the Blast this season? Are you able to work that out for us?
Yeah, it was 217. Yep. It's now 238, and this is one of the most insane statistics I think I've ever read out on Bears TV. In terms of her, her overall run percentage from boundaries, bear in mind the average is around about 55 as Jones comes into bowl here.
He's teased us again, and Harris has drilled that away, and it's not quite going to get through. It's going to be well fielded in the end and nicely cut off, and it's cut off by Skelton, and it will just be 2 to the total. She moves on to 56.
Yeah, so before that too, Harris is on 115 runs in this year's T20 Blast, 92 of which have come from 4 and 6, which stands at exactly 80%.
Wow. Jones is in again, swept away to mid-wicket, and it's just going to be 1 to the total this time. She moves on to 57 from 23, 142 for 6. And I'm sure Millie Taylor knows her job is just to get a single here and off we go.
Yeah, absolutely. That will be it. Let Laura Harris carry on as she is, just carrying on the run train.
You'd hope so. Jones's figure's really good actually in the context, I think, of the game. Don't forget we have still got an over likely to come from Molly Robbins, who did all the damage earlier on in this game. Oh, she's not quite. Oh no, they probably could have got it actually. She was sent back there, Laura Harris, by Millie Taylor, but there was a misfield from Skelton. Probably would have been an opportunity to finish that single.
Yeah, absolutely. Harris basically got halfway down. She's run a single herself.
Struck on. Oh, bowled. Beautiful ball. And Hannah Jones strikes. It's another wasted ball for the Bears. Taylor's on her way for 1. 142 for 7 now. Just 1 run from 4 deliveries for Millie Taylor. Laura Harris 57 not out at the other end. It was a partnership of 25 that she contributed just the 1 to. Played all around that ball from Hannah Jones. Yeah, straight through the gate, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the danger of left arm spinners, is they have that knack of, well, that stat earlier of she bowls stump to stump, but because they skid it through, going across the ball is quite a high risk option. However, that's what Hannah Jones does best.
It is. And in comes Georgia Davis, the skipper.
Yep.
What do we call her, skip?
Skip this season, yeah, absolutely. She's done a great job so far. She's taken it in her stride. And she's managed to rally the team up pretty well.
She'll know her job here is just to farm this strike to Laura Harris. 142 for 7. 3 overs and 2 balls of the innings remaining. Can't get a single off that ball. Well, now they're at the point that you don't want a single, so this is probably a bit of a free hit for Georgia Davis, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. End of over, you don't really want to rotate with strike, so 2 or 4.
I was going to say it is a 2 or 4 moment, isn't it? What's she going to do? She's just going to pull it. Oh, they're only going to get 1, I think. So it is just a single to the total. You do see teams turning down runs in those kind of circumstances, don't you? 143 for 7 then, with 3 overs remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. However, Georgia Davis has pretty good outings with the bat so far this season. She's had a couple of 50s, so we've got pretty deep batting order.
Well, I was going to say that's one of the things, isn't it? There is some real depth in the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. She's coming in at number 9 and, well, we're definitely not in the tail for sure. That's for certain.
So it's going to be Chloe Skelton to return again from the Birmingham end. She hasn't taken a wicket yet, but she's been very economical in her first 2 overs so far.
Yeah, absolutely. She's bowled pretty well considering some of her other bowlers' stats have been slightly torn apart by Laura Harris. Shot.
Davis plays that out into the leg side. It may well get across the boundary rope for 4. I mean, talk about perfection in terms of dissecting 2 fielders. The skipper, Georgia Davis, with a terrific shot, and the placement was absolute perfection.
That was perfect. She split the 2 boundary fielders basically in half.
I mean, it was a fairly rank delivery, but she gave it gave it what it needed, really, didn't she?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's not what you need. She's gone. Well, it's a good response from Chloe Skelton. Georgia Davis just calmly plays. I mean, that was the kind of catch you would get when you're probably having a little practice and a warm-up. She got foxed, I think, potentially by the flight. It's a good response from Chloe Skelton. It's a caught and bowled, and Georgia Davis is on her way, and the Bears are 147 for 8.
Yeah, she's just got her hands through a little bit early there. That's a good response from Skelton. She might have just taken a bit of a pace off as soon as that last ball got sent over the boundary.
Hannah Baker strides to the crease. Running out of batters here, the Bears. 8 wickets down, and we've still got, 16 deliveries to go.
Yeah.
Harris stranding up the other end at the moment, stuck on 57, trying to get a quick single, but couldn't do it. And this is the problem by not nabbing that, by kind of taking that single last ball of the previous over, isn't it? We've got Laura Harris. She's missed out on 3 deliveries there, starved of strike. This time around, they will manage to get the single and bring Laura Harris back on strike, and the entertainment can recommence.
Yeah, that's good cricket from Baker there. She knows her role. Hit one up to long on and rotate with strike.
So what was that nickname?
Bakey.
No, Bakey what? Bakey Bash, did you say?
No, I just said Bakey.
Oh, I just said Bakey, okay. Why is it cricketers always have to have a Y added on, regardless of what their name is? Oh, she's missed that one again, a slower ball. She's gone down on down to her knee to try and reach that, but couldn't get there. So it's the last ball of the over. So again, do they take the single here, or do they go for the big hit? I'm sure we know what Laura's going to try and do. And she's got it in the air, but this could be landing just in front of the fielder, as it does. And it will just be the single. And it's 1 more to the total. So 2 overs to go. Score moves on to 149 for 8. Baker on 1 and Harris on 58.
Yeah, Harris takes strike for the next delivery. I'm not sure which way's the wind's blowing, because it just looks, if it hits down the ground there towards the city, you're just holding up a little bit in the wind.
I think it's a bit blustery, isn't it? It looks like it's going, we can see it's coming across from left to right as we look out here from the pavilion. But I do, every now and then you do see the flags start to flutter in our direction. So it feels like a really blustery day.
Yeah, absolutely. Those flags over the far side are going some.
Amanda Jade Wellington is on, and Harris has picked the spot perfectly there. What a shot! What an absolute beauty that is from Laura Harris. 4 runs, and talk about, again, picking the gap between the fielders. That's brilliant.
Yeah, she split them perfectly there. Neither of them could get to the ball. Oh, she's on fire once again.
And the 150's up, Aaron, as well.
It is, and this is interesting because the highest run chase at EdgBLASTon during the regional setup was 147. So it would be up there in terms of all time, and in T20Is it's 157. So Bears going well here.
153 for 8. She steps forward and she has waited for that ball and then picked a gap again behind square on the leg side, and it's 4 more to the total. And this is a joy to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. She's using, well, boundaries and brains here, isn't it? She's shuffled across her stumps to access the square leg boundary, where square leg's been brought in to protect the front boundary. So she's just toying with the bowlers.
And enjoying herself in the process, it would appear. Here's Wellington again. Oh, she's picked out the fielder this time. Oh, it's been dropped! Dropped on the boundary. Put down. Well, how costly a mistake that could that be for Somerset. Harris moves on to 67. Picked it up off her toes. Straight to the fielder.
Yeah.
Really simple catch, really,
It's
wasn't
an
it?
expensive drop that. She said,
Oh. Talking of drops, there's another drop.
my-
Would have been a caught and bowled, and in the end, Baker gets back, and well, it's comedy cricket in the field from Somerset right now.
yeah, unfortunately, that would have been such a good caught and bowled if she held on to that.
Oh, she got one hand to it,
Yeah.
Wellington, didn't she?
That would have been a specky.
2 balls in the over to go. 8 of the innings remaining. 158 for 8. You want Harris to face as many of those, and at this moment in time, she's at the non-striker's end. Question is, what can Hannah Baker do about it?
Shot.
Nicely played. They'll get a single. Brings Harris on strike. Again, the debate here, do they just take the single or does she go for the big hit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those. I have a feeling she's going to lean towards one of those options.
Sitting on the fence firmly there. She's missed it. Oh, and has kept her back foot in. I think she was eyeing up her stumping there, Bex Odgers. However, no run. 159 for 8. And 6 balls remaining. So where are we going on the scoreline? What do we think, Chloe? Let's nail our colours to the mast.
Great question.
Give us a number.
I'm going 168.
168. You're going 168. Aaron in the corner, in stats corner. What are we going?
I was also going to go for 168.
Oh, so you're not going to change it then?
Oh.
You're
Nope.
not going to be competitive and change it for
Come
us.
on,
Okay.
play the game.
169.
169. Okay. Well, I'm going to go 171 because I'm
Okay.
feeling bold. I think this is going to be a really good over, but we'll see. Chloe Skelton's going to finish off from the Birmingham end. I think my hopes is all about getting a quick single, which they've done on the first ball. 160 for 8. The score moves on to Baker on to 3. It brings Harris onto strike on 67 with 5 balls remaining. So we've got a 168, a 169 and a 171.
Reckon I could have gone a little low here, but
I think you might, because one lusty blow and we're at 166 already, and
yeah, so
we've seen a few of those from Laura Harris so far. And there's another one, and there's a little slip by the fielder, but it didn't matter because that's a huge 6 from Laura Harris. She moves on to 73. And the Bears nicely on to 166 for 8. Aaron, how many 6s is that in the innings?
Well, to be honest, I was actually going to go for overall season. I think that now stands at 8, which the next best is, I think, 5 at the minute. So that already goes to show. But in terms of this innings, 73 from 30. Spoke about that previous best of 68 in the Big Bash. Already surpassed that. It just depends on whether you count the 100 against the Thunder in that pre-season spring challenge. But this has been some phenomenal effort from Harris.
Here she is again. Oh, this is a dot ball. I mean, you'll be savouring that if you're Chloe Skelton actually getting a dot ball in this over.
Yeah, that's a serious win. If you're not being sent over the boundary, you'll be taking that.
3 balls to go. Harris on 73 from 31. Skelton with 3 balls to come here. And that's just played out to the leg side. They're going to get 1. They're going to try and turn for a second. They're going to get a second. Harris is running to the danger end here, and Odgers takes it, but Harris is down with a sliding of the bat and the body to ensure she keeps the strike. 168 for 8. She moves on to 75. You're out the game, really, unless there's 2 dot balls. Remember, Chloe thinking a 168, Aaron the 169, I've got a 171. Even I may have been too cautious here. Skelton's in again to Harris. Oh, it's a full toss, it's up in the air. It's going to be caught this time, and it is caught. And a wonderful innings comes to an end for Laura Harris. 75 of 33. Oh, hang on a moment. No, it's been given as a no ball. It's a no ball. Wow. And they're going to swap round for a free hit. No, they don't swap for a free hit, do they?
No,
oh, if only. So 170 for 8. It will be a free hit. It's a no ball for height. And Baker's on strike. What did you make of that?
Baker bombs here. She's had 1 innings this season where her strike rate's been 600.
She can do what she wants. She can't be out. And then she gets run out. She'll take the single. And then they move on to 171 for 8. And we have 1 ball remaining.
Me and Aaron firmly out of the game.
You're firmly out, you know. I think I'm probably firmly out of the game, unless it's going to be a dot, of course. Long conversation taking place out in the field, as you would expect, between Sophie Luff and Chloe Skelton. Final ball then. Harris is on 76 from 33. And it's Skelton who will deliver from the Birmingham end. And she just knocks it into the leg side. They're going to run 1. They're going to try and run a second. And they get home for a second as well. Oh, no, it's out. Oh, that looks quite comfortable from here.
Yeah.
I thought Laura Harris was home and hosed, but the fingers raised by the square leg umpire. So it will just be 1 more to the total. 172 for 9. Then will be the finishing score. Laura Harris out for what would be 77 in the end. And a terrific innings as she makes her way off. And those around EdgBLASTon, of course, most of them standing after that entertainment from Laura Harris. What a super knock that was. 77 from 34 balls. 6s galore. And the mainstay of what's been another really good total from the Birmingham Bears. 172 for 9 then is what they finished on. Somerset then will require 173 for victory when they return. But that innings, unsurprisingly, all the glory belongs to Laura Harris with her 77. So we'll come back shortly, but the Bears finish on 172 for 9.
Ladies, Scout, well done, mate.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Well, that was a terrific batting performance from the Birmingham Bears. 172 for 9. That's a brilliant total. Supercharged, really, by that innings from Laura Harris. That was so impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. She's so destructive with a bat. She just races to her 50s, doesn't she? Yeah, I wouldn't like to be a bowler bowling to her at the moment.
Well, this is the thing. It's so difficult as a bowler to understand where to... Because you can talk about her strength being through the leg side, you know, playing towards the sort of the square leg region or the mid-wicket region. But even if you sort of hang the ball outside off stump, she finds a way to just manoeuvre the ball in that region.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such smart cricket. You saw there against Amanda Jade Wellington. She shuffled over to play towards a square leg boundary because they brought it in to manoeuvre the field. So she's just toying with bowlers.
Let's take a little look at some of the shots that were played in that Bears innings. 172 for 9 is where they finished. And, you know, it didn't start very well for the Bears with those early wickets falling. We thought there was some very astute bowling from the visiting team. And those early wickets, I mean, you'd think it was going to be tricky, but there was some nice batting. I thought Stair Callis batted really well at the top as well. Really held the innings together through a difficult phase. Played some nice shots. And then came Laura Harris. Absolute barrage. There was a full toss. That one was a bit of a gift, but there were so many deliveries that you couldn't really fault too much, and she just picked them off. Let's take another look at this one. This is a full toss, just hammered away. This one went all the way for 6. Terrific shot. She didn't even try and run for that one. She was in great control and continuously putting the bowlers under pressure. Some outstanding power hitting. There we saw a full one outside the off stump. We talked about it. Where do you hide the ball? Full outside the off stump. She'll find a way to chase that and hit it to the boundary as well. And it's against Amanda Jade Wellington. World-class bowler. She goes really wide that time. And picks up a run out at the non-strikers and just flicks the ball with her backhand onto the stumps. That was the end of Stair Callis, who, as we say, played a terrific knock to hold that innings together. A couple of soft dismissals towards the end of the innings, I would say, for the Bears, but it was all about trying to get Laura Harris on strike. She was at the non-strikers watching this wicket fall as well. A couple of return catches that was soft dismissals, sort of gifts ready for the bowlers towards the end. But you got to hold your own there, make sure you stay concentrating. But it's a bit of a procession of caught and bowls there for a while from the Bears. But then some brilliant power hitting from Laura Harris just to close out that innings. Finding the gaps, making sure that the Bears finished really strong, stepping across the stumps on that occasion, and again sweeping powerfully in the gap between square leg and fine leg. Such a brilliant player and a great treat for everybody who's come to watch her in the ground. Brilliant knock there from Harris. Amanda Jade Wellington again just trying to... had one really bad drop. That was an opportunity to get the big wicket. It cost them a couple more sixes after that. Wellington did pick up a great chance there, but again dropped in her follow through. One of the rare ones put down in their follow throughs, but a couple of costly catches dropped. And Laura Harris again, so much power, comfortably clearing the long on field towards the end of the innings. Even throwing herself around just to avoid being run out, put as much time out there in the middle as possible. It's worth mentioning when she came to the crease, they were in a bit of trouble with the Bears. 5 wickets down and the better part of 10 overs to bat for Laura Harris, but she batted so well for that. 77 off 34 balls. Also, you know what she's done there, Chloe? She's bettered her sister, because Grace Harris got 60 odd for Surrey in the most recent game. She's gone one better and got 77 today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible that both the Harrises have come over here and played in the T20 Blast. It's, well, provided the entertainment for the crowd, really, isn't it? It's so destructive a pair, but she's had to go and do one better.
And it's just that strength that we talked about. As a captain, I thought Sophie Luff, who's obviously the captain for Somerset, she did quite well making adjustments, trying to protect her bowlers as much as possible, and it worked for everyone except against Laura Harris. She just knows how to find the gaps.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's much advice you could give to your bowlers when Laura Harris is at the crease. It's kind of bowl and hope a little bit.
Now, there was one little instance. We could talk about Laura Harris all day, and maybe we should, but we should bring up the one other sort of talking point from that innings, which was the bat size. Now, there was a little bit of a delay when the bat was measured. Now, this is a new phenomenon in cricket, with bats being measured by bat gauges, by match officials. All of them have to have them at all times. We saw it happen a few times in the IPL this season as well, where bats were knocked back for being too big and not fitting through that gauge. This relates to the MCC's laws of the game. I believe it's Law 5, of the MCC's laws of the game, which stipulates the size of the bat. Have you ever had this happen in a dressing room where bats are being measured, bats are being knocked back, or the size of the bat is being talked about in general?
Yeah, we always have, as like before the season, just briefings of your bat must fit through the gauge, otherwise you can't use it, as we've seen today.
Yeah.
But I've actually never seen it happen.
Yeah.
But you just assume that what you've been sent is fine and it's been checked through the gauge already.
It's tricky. If you've got like a endorsement deal from a manufacturer, then you have to sort of borrow one of your teammates' bats. It's not the best possible look. It's just a little bit. It's just a difficult thing, really, to manage for the players, I suppose. But it is important to keep that balance between bat and ball in the game, isn't it? Like, you can't. Batters have so many advantages as it is. It's important to make sure it doesn't go too far in one direction.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of leveling the playing field, isn't it, a little bit? Bringing it back to the bowlers. We've seen over the past few years, pitches have become pretty fair these days, to be honest. There's in it for both bat and ball, and that's what makes cricket cricket.
Yeah, it certainly does. And I can see the umpires making their way out to the middle. And just before I disappear and make room for Adam, I should tell you that I did do some investigating. I went down and chatted and did a bit of wheeling and dealing to work out what happened to that bat. So the bat, once it's deemed unfit for use by an umpire, goes to the match manager, and they do further investigations and take it out of circulation. So that bat is now currently officially out of circulation. These are new buzzwords in cricket. Make sure you learn these phrases, guys. They're going to be coming up more and more often. Aaron, have you heard that one? Bat taken out of circulation? Have you come across that one?
I have actually, yes. In a championship game last year, I think it was Essex versus Nottinghamshire at Trent Bridge. It was Feroz Kushi, and in the end, actually, it was Essex who got a points deduction for that. So, seen it a couple of times at the minute, Atif, but yeah, not seen it here at EdgBLASTon.
Well, hopefully we won't have to see too much more of it, but it is going to be something that's becoming more of a feature in cricket as we make sure things are very, very fair. I'm going to try and buy it if I can, just to try. I need to work out if it's possible to buy an out-of-circulation bat. But in the meantime, the Bears have put up a fantastic total, 172 for 9. I think they've done really, really well, in good shape here to pick up a victory in front of the home crowd. I'm going to hand over to Adam Bridge, who's going to take you through all the action.
Thank you very much, Atif, who will be back shortly. So, Izzy Wong will have ball in hand, which is no great surprise, is it, Chloe?
Absolutely not. She's bowled like a demon so far this year. She shapes the ball away perfectly, if I'm honest, and she's got fire in her belly, which is really, really good to see.
And it's nice to see her back in England colours as well, isn't it? And I mean, I know last season was quite a difficult time for her on every level, really.
Yeah, absolutely. She's had a pretty tough time of it, but she's kept her chin up, and she's slowly proving why she's got there in the first place, isn't she?
Yep, raw pace and ability, and it's going to be Izzy Wong who will open up, and it's been a good start to the season, Aaron, hasn't it, for Izzy on all fronts? It
has, yeah. Already 3 wickets here in the T20 Blast, and just to preface this innings as well, spoke about that record run chase here in the T20I. Earlier on, it was 155 the target, so this already is quite a hefty ask for Somerset.
It is, and it's Izzy Wong that will get us underway from this pavilion end. And just to clarify the openers for Somerset, Bex Odgers, who was keeping wicket, of course, and Amelie Monday is the batter at the non-strikers end as we start things off. And of course, the Bears field will be under that leadership of Georgia Davis, who, what's she like out in the field? Is she exuberant, busy? Is she a gear-upper, or is she a kind of just keeps calm?
I see what you did there. Yeah, she's pretty calm in the field. She's really reassuring and backs her players.
It's a nice shot. They'll get no run for it, though, because it's well fielded. A backward point by Perrin. Good start from Izzy Wong. Seems to be rattling through a fair old pace there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Two dots to start off this T20 innings, and Odgers just looks at a little bit of trouble here.
Well, you look at the run rate, and already we're creeping up to 8.8 with a target of 173. So every dot ball is absolutely crucial. Lovely line from Izzy Wong. No wonder there's applause all around EdgBLASTon for that, because she's just making life really difficult here for Bex Odgers, and to the point where there's going to be a conversation, I think, between Odgers and Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. Once the dots start building, you can see the run rate required is already starting to sneak up, and you can't. when you're chasing a total like this, you can't let that get away.
I know Izzy had some run-up issues last year, but she looks really comfortable as she approaches her delivery stride this time round. And I can see why she's given the shout. I think she's outside the line, but she moved right across her stumps just to try and do something different. And again, it's another dot ball. And what if this ends up being a maiden? All of a sudden, the run rate will be over 9 and over.
Yeah, that will be pretty tough for Somerset batters if it's sneaking out 8.95 already. This is such a great start to this Bears fielding innings.
Certainly is. What can Odgers do? Can she work out Izzy one? Can Izzy get out of this over with the last 2 balls? Well, there's going to be another a single this time, although if the stumps have been hit, I think that would have been very tight for Odgers. Really well fielded. And almost from Callis, a direct hit.
Yeah, if that's what that pressure's created, you've got 4 dots starting up, and she's really stolen the single. If that hit, she was well on her way back to a changing room.
Brings Monday on to strike. First run of the innings for Somerset. Bottom of the table, as we said. Although this is only their 3rd game, of course. This is the 4th for the Bears. Lovely ball with plenty of pace. And that's a terrific opening over from Izzy Wong. It's so good to have her firing on all cylinders in Bears colours at the start of this campaign. It really is. And Somerset won without loss at the end of the first over.
Yeah, what an over. That's how you start your T20 innings, isn't it? I think Somerset will be doubting now. 173 with a run rate required. Snuck over to 9.05.
Yeah, it has. And it just shows when you're chasing such a big target, Aaron, an over like that can absolutely cause a dent. And again, the pressure that you feel as that run rate increases.
Oh, it's absolutely massive, isn't it, to be honest? And you'd look at this Bears bowling attack, so many options. Of course, we've just seen Izzy Wong there. You've got the spin twins, Georgia Davis, Hannah Baker as well with the leg spin, Caris Pavley with the left arm finger spin as well. There's so many options, and here is the 5th one, Hannah Hardwick.
Indeed. And obviously Nat Wraith has got the gloves today for the Bears, as opposed to usually, or has been Abby Freeborn prior. So Hardwick then from the Birmingham end. Slightly different approach to Izzy Wong. That was really banged in short. Same result though as the majority of Izzy's over in a dot ball.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what I love about Hannah Hardwick. Her bowling, she's got some real speed about her. She's got some pace. She's worked so hard over Winton. She's come such a long way. She has that shape away from a bat. And yeah, some serious talent at such a young age.
Pulling into the breeze now as well. It's another short one, and it's given us a wide. I think she was far away from getting a nick on that as well. There'll be 1 more to the total for Somerset, 2 without loss. It's a wide ball signalled by the umpire. What can you tell us about Hannah Hardwick and her numbers?
Well, I can give you a career best, which, funny enough, came against Warwickshire in the 2023 T20 Cup. Those figures were 2 for 17.
Very nice. We'll take that today if she fancies delivering it. She's having to contend with that strong wind now, though. Better length this time. Bit too much width, though, allowing the first single. The over from the bat anyway. Odgers moves on to 2. 3 without loss. Adjustment of the ponytail, quite important, I would have thought. And there's quite a few of you with long hair that doesn't. I mean, I noticed Georgia. Obviously, they have a bit of a long pony, don't they? And this wind that must play havoc. I don't have this problem, obviously, Chloe. I'm not used to it. But there's a lot of hair blowing around out there in the outfield today. Got enough of that to maybe reach the boundary. Chase is on. Caris Pavley's done brilliantly and restricts it to 2. Thought that might get to the ropes then.
Yeah, that's an excellent bit of fielding. It's just gone across the oval square there, race away. But one thing is, Caris Pavley was chasing after her. She's pretty rapid out in the outfield.
What's it like when you're out there in this kind of wind? Because it does look quite strong today.
Yeah, pretty chilly if I'm honest.
Better line from Hardwick. Paverley's in to do the fielding. Really nice start this from the Bears. 2 balls to come in the over, 5 without loss so far. So many bowling options as well, as Aaron was saying, in terms of where you go. How much of a predetermined plan is there?
I'd say there's a little bit. I think you can just kind of play it by ear, how the batters are going, and bring in what you feel is needed.
Oh, well, that's gone all the way through Wraith, and it's 4 runs as well, so there was a nick on that. It was going at a fair old rate of knots from Hardwick for sure. I think then the breeze may well have been with her. I'll have a look at that. Not far away from Wraith taking the catch, I would have said. Oh, just through the gloves. First boundary for Monday. 9 without loss. And there's 1 ball to come in this second over. It says 8 from it so far. It's been a better over than that from Hannah Hardwick. Oh, just slightly wide and almost chopped on. And it'll be 1 more to the total. And with 2 overs gone. 10 without loss then for the Bears. Monday on 7. Hodges on 2. And I think Hannah Hardwick's a little bit unlucky to have gone for 9 in that over, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say from sitting up here, it's a pretty good over. That's just the one that's gone over a crossbar there, over Nat, for her boundary there. And yeah, I think she's started pretty well. We've got very big boundaries, both square of a wicket, so it's a pretty good plan.
I just noticed Izzy Wong has removed one of her sleeves for her bowling. So the right arm sleeve has been removed and is gone into the cap, into the arms of the umpire. Why is that? Just a personal choice thing?
I think she has to, because it's her bowling arm. I think you can't have anything on your bowling arm.
That's out. Oh no, it's not out. It's dropped. Wow, I called that far too early. It's been dropped, and it just looked the simplest of opportunities. Izzy Wong almost with the first wicket of the game, but Hannah Hardwick, she'll be really disappointed with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, yeah, she looks gutted there. Just seeing her go through it again. It's just one of those. It hits her hands and it's popped out.
And your wind playing its part again, I would guess, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, Izzy Wong on the mark. I'll get a single this time. That's really well fielded by Ferrin. Just kept down to 1. 11 without loss. Into the third over. Target is 173.
Yeah, that required run rate's just sneaking up a little bit. Over 9s is already quite an ask.
It was quite a steady start for the Bears as well in those early couple of overs. Ended up losing a couple of wickets as well. Oh, there's the ramp, the first one. And that's 4. Good shot from Hodges. She tried it in the first over with no success. This time round, she gets the result she craved. And it's a boundary for Somerset, 15 without loss.
That was really smart cricket there from Hodges. There's, well, 5 legs vacant, and she's taken a risk to step across, and she's reaped the reward of it, and that's moved Abby Freeborn out of slip into a 45 position, so she's done a job in manoeuvring the field.
Very much so. Wong will return to her mark. Nothing really wrong with the ball. Good shot from Bex Hodges on this occasion for Somerset. This one's shorter and slower, and it hits her in front, and there's no doubt in the umpire's mind, and she's given. And Wong strikes. The Bears have their first. And Hodges is on her way. LBW to Izzy Wong for 6. And Somerset are 15 for 1.
First wicket down. That was really good. Looked like a slower ball. Izzy Wong's just taken a pace off it. And it's miffed the batter there. And she's on her way back to the dressing room.
I'll get a view from behind here. Oh, and you can tell as well, she's really run her fingers over the seam as well. It's a bit of a cutter, slower ball cutter. This will give us a slightly better view. Good pace from Wong early on, and then, well, it's not got up at all, has it?
No, absolutely. It's just back of a hand. That's really smart cricket from Izzy Wong, and
looks like striking. I mean, there may be an issue around height potentially there, but there seemed no doubt in the umpire's mind. Finger went up straight away. And Izzy Wong has her first of the game. 15 for 1. Fran Wilson is the new batsman for, so a bad new batter for Somerset. Took a really good catch, didn't she?
Yes. Yeah.
Really good catch.
Yeah, she's someone in the field that you don't want to send a catch to because she doesn't show many. Sure.
She's got to face Izzy Wong here. I think Izzy's got a bit of wind behind her as well. It's definitely, we have a couple of flags in the distance that we can keep an eye on, and it's certainly spiralling round the blustery conditions, which occasion helping bowlers, occasionally may be causing them a problem, but that's been helped on its way nicely that time. Round the corner by Fran Wilson. She's off the mark with a boundary on her first ball.
Yep, 400 strike rate, that will do.
That's almost what Laura Harris has got, you know, that's not far off.
Pretty close contender, hey?
Really nice day for cricket. There's a bit of cloud around as well, a little bit of patches of blue sky. Sun keeps coming out every now and then as well. Reminder, we've got another live game for you coming up. Separate stream later, about 20 to 7 will be on for when the men take on Yorkshire. No run off the final ball of Izzy Wong's second over. She has 1 for 10, and Somerset are 19 for 1 after 3 overs.
Yeah, those are destructive 2 overs from Izzy Wong there. She's given him nothing, if I'm honest.
19 for 1
Every
after
great
3.
team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Hardwick goes again from the Birmingham end. Short, and again it was just fenced at. Oh, you thought that was going then, didn't you? You thought there might have been a nick on that.
Absolutely. I think if anyone can tell in this commentary box, I'm not a great watcher. But yeah, that was just such a dangerous ball. With hand bowling, you know that someone's going to go past your ear, and she's looked to go over the keeper and hasn't quite got it.
Yeah, Monday seemed to certainly think about having a shot. Oh, she's had a go at that one. Pulled that for 6. It's a really nice shot that time from Amelie Monday. The length was good. Hardwick has been a little bit short, but then like you say, that's kind of normal for her to be a little bit shorter of a length. Izzy a bit fuller at the other end, but that got the treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, with the way hand bowls, it's kind of you win some, you lose some. She's bowling hard into the pitch and testing out these guys off the back foot, and so far they've struggled a little bit, but yeah, see what she does to follow up.
25 for 1. Hardwick, how can she respond? Obviously only 2 fielders allowed out, so no real change to the field. This time she bowls fuller and straighter. They'll get 1 as well, fielded by Pavley again. So I think maybe did she clip the stumps?
Yeah, it was a direct hit there.
I thought so.
Really good backing up there from Laura Harris and Georgia Davis there. When it comes off a stump, she kind of, where is it going to go?
It only took the 1 bail, didn't it? So
yeah.
Didn't look like an obvious hit of the stumps, but good from Pavley. 26 for 1. It's Hardwick again. Oh, it's just going to drop short of Harris Pavley again. And it's going to be 1. And Hardwick again, reverting to that shorter length. This time a better kind of length, just short of good, really. It wasn't too short like the previous ball that had been pulled for 6.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a hot spot there in at mid-wicket. Is actually bowling, how hands bowling just back of a length. It's how you're going to take some of your wickets.
She's trying to cramp him for room, isn't she? And it's almost come off on a couple of occasions. That's Fuller and outside the off stump, and it's driven beautifully. Only be 1, maybe 2. It will be 2. So well run 2. 29 for 1. 1 ball to come in Hannah Hardwick's second over. Again, the outfielders are on the boundary ropes at fine leg, and also at deep mid wicket. Oh, sorry, it's a deep cover, should I say?
Testing your knowledge, right?
I'm just, yeah. Been a long day already. Here's Hardwick again, and once more, it'll be a single. That completes the 4th over, 30 for 1, and Hannah Hardwick taking the majority of the damage. That over in particular, going for 11 runs. Tough start for Hardwick. And in terms, Aaron, of how they're comparing to the Bears, what, 30 for 1 after 4?
Yeah, so in terms of overall power play, the Bears 54 for 3 after 6. So in terms of runs, not as comparative at the minute for Somerset, of course, going at a slightly lowered run rate. But the important thing, of course, for the visitors is those wickets in the tank. 30 for 1, and just interestingly about Amelie Monday as well, she has had a quiet start by her standards to this year's Blast. This is actually her highest score so far. The previous was 12 in the first 2 matches, so good to see this very, very capable and destructive young batter.
Well, let's see what she makes of Caris Paverley, who's going to come on and bowl from this pavilion end. 30 for 1. It's Monday's on strike with, as we say, 18 to her name. Wilson has 5, a partnership of 15 between these two so far.
Yeah, this is a good change here. Caris has bowled quite a lot in the power play so far this T20 campaign, and that is why.
Yeah, absolute beauty. Beats her outside the off stump. Must be tricky bowling in the power play for a spinner.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be on the money every time. She can only have those 2 fielders out, so you want to be hit to them.
She has gone for a deep mid wicket, and also a long on. First run off her bowling brings Wilson on strike. 31. Score moves on to. Paverley's shown some really good progression in the last couple of years. I know last season at the start of the Warwickshire campaign, and you two were at the big launch event, weren't you? I remember. I think I spoke to the pair of you. Yeah, double trouble I called it, I think, at the time. Made room for herself really well there. It's a nice shot from Fran Wilson, premeditated and effective. She sweeps for 4.
Yeah, that was such a good shot. The thing with Fran is she's so smart. She's got so much experience, obviously up in the England setup for quite a while, so she'll be somewhat of a glue here for the Somerset innings.
It's 4 more to the total. As a group, do you lot socialise together a lot? I mean, the season's quite intense, isn't it? So it's not like you actually get much time to socialise in between in between games. But
yeah, absolutely. We've got to prioritise that time. We're basically a family. We spend so much time together. Coach trips away.
Yeah,
dinners.
but families do argue. As they always say, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Oh dear.
5 off the over so far. Wilson still on strike. She's on 9. Just get out with a couple of dots here. It would have a really good over from Caris. There's going to be 1. They'll think about the second, but not worth it. 1 more to the total. 36 for 1. Don't forget to click on the old thumbs up if you are watching the stream. Also, you can send your comments in as well at any point. We'd love to see them, and we'll share some of them as well as we head throughout this second innings. Paverley again strikes her on the pad this time. And that's actually a really good over. In the power play for a spinner, to only go for 6 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, you're taking a runner ball, aren't you? I think.
You're going to go, Chloe.
Yeah.
You're going to go and
I know.
Go and find your crutches. That's what you're going to depart to. And Atif Nawaz is going to come and join us. If you have just joined us and you're thinking, why is he saying that? Well, she's just had surgery on her hamstring injury. So gingerly, Chloe will leave the commentary box and head off to find her very, very lovely. They're red, aren't they? Crutches? That's what they're called. They're pink and red.
Like Gucci or something.
Designer.
Yeah.
Wow. These cricketers nowadays, that's no great surprise, is it?
Well, as long as they fit through the back gauge, that's all that matters.
Yes.
Is there a crutch gauge? I don't know.
Who knows? It's good to see the member stand, the members down below. Actually, nice number of them in this afternoon. Obviously, getting revved up as well for the men's game, which is coming at 7 o'clock start. Our stream will kick off at 20 to 7 for that. It'll be a separate stream once we're done here with our Bears women's game. And it's going to be Georgia Davis, the skipper, who's come on to bowl as well. So it's double spin at the end of this power play.
Yeah, I like that. I think it makes sense. Just whittle through these overs and put a bit of pressure on these batters. They know they've got to go some. That required run rate already up above 9, which really reinforces that scoreboard pressure for the Bears.
Such depth as well to this bowling attack too. 37 for 1. Skipper taking it upon herself here to see out the last over this power play.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, Adam. Like, I mean, that's the trending thing that T20 coaches talk about. I was watching an interview with Mike Heston the other day where he mentioned this.
Oh! And the stumps, yes, and gone. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Georgia Davis, and terrific work for Nat Wraith behind the stumps as well. It was a lovely ball, and the glove work was superb. And Somerset lose a second. Monday's on our way for 19. And it's 37 for 2.
Lovely delivery that. Just left the right-hander. If you notice, she comes down the track, she's looking for a bit of turn, but the ball just goes on with the angle. And as you say, an excellent piece of wicket-keeping just to follow the trajectory of the ball. Just beat her in the air, and she didn't even try and go back. Did Monday. She knew she'd been beaten. It's a very skillful delivery and an excellent wicket for the Bears, who are fast moving into a very strong position in this match. And Monday heading back 19 off 17 for the set batter. It's trouble early doors for the Somerset team, I would say.
And as Aaron said, high score of the season for Monday.
Yep, that is the high score, 19 from 17. Also got a great stat about the Bears' last 10, courtesy of the oracle of women's cricket in this country, the great Hypercore. So I'll leave that until we get to over number 10. But yeah, Laura Harris, that was seriously special, as we'll touch upon in a bit more detail as Sophie Luff, the Somerset captain, arrives in the middle.
So captain to finish off the power play then. Sophie Luff does indeed take strike, wearing the 63 on the back of her shirt. She is the new batter. We are running slightly late in this game, of course, because of the injury and then back gate that we had earlier on as well. Hence why it's already 8 minutes past 5 and we're only just ending the power play for Somerset.
Well, a lot of overs from spin, I'm sure, will eat into that time and get it back.
You would think so. A lovely evening in Birmingham, Friday evening. People will be heading home after a hard week at work, putting on the cricket. May even come down, who knows?
Yeah, plenty.
It could be the aperitif before they head down later.
Yeah, the aperitif, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's very good.
It took you a bit longer than I thought it would, Adam. If I'm honest.
Look, I'll just tee you up and you finish them off, my friend. That's the way it works. Yeah. Last ball of the power play then. And what's been a really good over from Georgia Davis. It's going to go for just a second single and a wicket as well. And you couldn't really ask much more from your captain than that to complete the power play. And let's get the comparisons on the power play from Aaron.
Yep, so Somerset 38 for 2. At this exact same stage, Bears were 54 for 3. So in terms of wickets, Somerset ahead in that department, but 16 runs behind where the Bears were at the same stage.
Can't ask for more than that, really, can you? It's a very nice platform to build on from a bowling perspective here for the Bears.
It certainly is, and you go back to the point you made about bowling options, and this is the thing that Mike Heston's been talking about. You want cricketers that offer you those options, because sometimes you might want to, if you're looking at matchups, you've got left-handers, right-handers. If there's a plethora of left-handers, you want the option of having a spinner that can take the ball away from them, and vice versa with right-handers and leg spinners or slow left-armers. So having utility cricketers or multifaceted cricketers is so valuable, and bowling options is where sort of the success in current T20 lies, according to sort of various coaches these days. So great to have bowling options.
Talking of options, Hannah Baker is into the attack, and I refer to Hannah probably as this doesn't mean to sound bad to any other legs, but she's a proper leggy. Yeah,
you can tell by her action as well. It's quite a classical leg spinner's action with the body that gets quite tight and then explodes into the delivery.
I know one of the things that's been mentioned in particular is how she's been working with Jake Lintott, and I guess when you are pulling the two together as one club and one team, so the Birmingham Bears men and women. That's something you get, isn't it? The ability to share experiences and knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's great to see that kind of synergy. You've got those resources available to you. Use them. Learn and spread the knowledge, absolutely.
And we'll be seeing Jake Lintop probably later today, you would feel. So signed a new contract, of course. And he, as a former schoolmaster, he's happy to share and teach, isn't he? That's for sure. But Hannah Baker with plenty of terrific talent anyway as a leg spinner. It's going to be one more to the total there. Really nice start to the over. They move on to 40 for 2 now.
Yes.
It's Luff on strike.
Just lining into this opportunity, Davis, of just getting through as many overs of spin here as possible. Just push that run rate up.
I was going to say, they move through quite quickly, don't they? When you do get over after over of spin, all of a sudden you look up at the scoreboard and it's like, oh, hang on, 9-10 overs gone. Where did that come from?
And that required run rate is almost touching 10 now, which is hard at the best of times. It is a very good surface, of course, but some high-quality bowlers to contend with. That's a tall ask already for Somerset, I would say.
I think if you go back to the toss today, which Somerset won and chose to field, I don't think the Bears would have been too upset about that, because I think we've seen already this season that their ability to set a score and then defend it, obviously they defended it against Blaze because it ended up a tie, defended it very well here against Durham. Just the chase against Essex didn't quite go according to plan. Nicely cut away. It's going to be one though.
Yeah.
It means it's a good over from Hannah Baker. Just 4 singles from it. And again, they're just squeezing Somerset here. We've had 7 overs and it's 42 for 2.
That required rate comfortably over 10 now. This is going to be a tall order for sure. And yeah, just to go back to the toss, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's sort of an old-fashioned decision really to think about fielding, to think about chasing really. It's in theory it makes sense in T20 cricket where you know how to set yourself, you can organise your chase, you know exactly, give yourself little mini milestones that if we're chasing this over, it just helps you structure a little bit more. But at the same time, maybe they were looking at the conditions. It had been a little bit overcast about an hour or so before play began while the players were out there training, but it looks pretty clear at the moment.
It certainly does. No surprise that Georgie Davis is coming back for a second over. And they'll start the over with 1, possibly 2. Sophie Luff was keen for a second, but I think that was a wise decision in the end to keep that at 1.
Yeah, it was a good shot that actually, because again, Baker looking for the similar delivery, the one that leaves the right-hander just continues to go across her, but you have to get as far forward as you can. If you're going to come dancing down the wicket, you must have the line covered, which you did comfortably on that occasion. But just we've already seen 1 stumping. I think we may well see more if they continue with the strategy.
Georgia now coming back over the wicket. So chipped up in the air and she just can't quite get there. Perrin was over her shoulder. She wasn't far away from it. And again, Georgia Davis just inducing the full shot. That time from Fran Wilson. They get a single for it.
It's such an intelligent bowler. Just knows how to make things difficult for batters. And now bringing that fielder across as well to backward point. Already got a gully in place there.
Just coming round the wicket again here to Wilson. That seems to be her preferred option. And how's Wilson this time to sweep, but just for 1. Yep. So again, clear matchups and thought process here. It's right, I'm going to bowl over to you and I'm bowling round to you.
Yeah, and also trying to keep the ball quite tight on the stumps for Wilson and giving it a little bit of air and pushing in that outside channel for Sophie Luff. Intriguing.
Matchups are, as you say, so important in this game now. The stats, the analysts, the data.
Just useful to have those options. Bears just squeezing now.
Like you say, they are whipping through the overs very quickly, giving away very few runs, very few boundaries. A number of singles per over. And all of a sudden we're going to find ourselves 8 overs into this innings and a run rate that's approaching 11.
Yeah, the required run rate just shooting up each over. I mean, they've not done too poorly this over, but what they're missing is boundaries right now, Somerset. And that's what's making life difficult.
Yeah, 4 singles from this over so far. There's a sweep, and they're going to snatch a 5th one, just about. And it completes the 8th over of the Somerset innings. 5 from that over from Georgia Davis. They move on to 47 for 2. Wilson on 16. And Luff, as things stand, on 5. So after 8 overs, 47 for 2. Talk about that terrific innings earlier from Laura Harris, just in conversation with Caris Pavley and Georgia Davis as well. Sharing of knowledge, experience, so important, isn't it?
It is, and a bit of sibling rivalry as well. I quite like that between Laura Harris and Grace, her sister Rosette Surrey, and who's getting more runs. I quite like the little needle.
Pavley's in again. Use of the feet from Fran Wilson. Get her a single.
Cramped her up quite nicely there. Difficult to get the ball away, but yeah, it's got to be fun, right? They've got to have a family WhatsApp group. I'd love to see the gifs being shared on that WhatsApp group. That's what I'd like to see.
I suppose the question is, do their parents have a favourite? That's the crux of it, because picking your favourite child is always tricky business. Bit of room, but just a single to the total. How's Grace getting on this year, Aaron? In case you thought I might ask that.
Very well,
oh,
indeed. Yeah, came in and smashed 60 odd on Surrey debut. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see them both. And let's face it, this season we've got some absolute superstars in the Blast. Elise Perry coming down to Hampshire, and of course someone who we may see on Sunday, Alana King for Lancashire.
Indeed. Oh, just a false run up there from Pavley. Lancashire, of course, won the County Cup as well, didn't they?
Yes, they did, yeah. Down in Taunton. They beat Surrey in the final of that one.
They're going to be strong as per usual. Just happy to milk the spinners, and I think the Bears are happy for that to be the case, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll take this all completely. I mean, it's been quite a while since we've seen a boundary from Somerset, although they've brought up their 50 with that single. They do need to press on to make sure they don't fall away, and also the secondary concern right now will be the net run rate as well, which could take a tumble.
I can hear one lone person clapping the 50 for Somerset, so I assume someone's made the journey up from the southwest, because there certainly wasn't a lot of applause for the 50.
I saw a few Somerset fans down there.
Oh, okay.
I saw a few people in their Somerset shirts downstairs when I went to see everybody. There's also a few Yorkshire fans who've already turned up for the men's game. There's quite a few.
I was going to say, I suspect the Hollies will start to fill up as we... It's gone 5 o'clock in the UK, so the Hollies will start to fill up, and obviously you can pull a pint at this point. So therefore people will, I'm sure, start their Friday in style. No run out there, just milked for another single.
Now this is becoming more and more difficult. They've got to find something here of Somerset, because at the moment they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves to have to score quite quickly towards the back end of this innings. Having said that, the Bears would love another wicket just to underscore their position.
So run a ball is what they've managed on. They've finally got a boundary at the end of the over. Well, that'll be frustrating for the Bears and for Caris Pavley not to get away with that one. It's been a while since a boundary, but they've managed to pick up one, and it's 56 for 2 then after 9 overs. Don't forget, if you are on your computer watching our stream, to just click that thumbs up emoji.
Yeah.
We like the thumbs up emoji.
Thumbs up emoji.
Yeah, that one. Just click it and away we go.
Yeah.
Click that you like it.
Be a friend.
And we like a comment or two, don't we, as well?
Yeah, just as long as they're nice and polite and everything. Tell us, whose hoodie do you like better, his or mine? I'm quite curious. Do we like the blue or the white?
Both hoodies are available.
Both hoodies are available,
I had to show the back of this one, hadn't I?
Yeah, you can't turn around.
It's quite funky, isn't it?
Look at that.
Yeah.
There
this
we
has got
go.
it all. Perhaps I should be with my back to the camera all the time, maybe. Maybe that will be everyone, good enough for everyone.
Like John Cena.
Yes, maybe. 56 for 2. These are available, though.
They are.
We went on a raid of the store earlier, didn't we?
We did. I think they look quite nice. So these, obviously, the Bears shirts are available. So those are really cool stuff. I quite like the heritage stuff here at Warwickshire. So definitely check it out. It's all available on.
Indeed. Millie Taylor's coming on. So we are about to get the 10th over. 56 for 2. as things stand. Wilson on 19, Luff on 11. Partnership is 19 off 21 balls so far. So not really setting anything going. I'm going to ask Aaron in a moment because he's that chronicle of knowledge. Well, I think this over might go quite quickly from Millie Taylor. But the corner that Somerset are backing themselves into here with our run rate, is there anyone within the ranks of Somerset this season who is showing the kind of form that Laura Harris is in that might cause the Bears a problem?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Because to be honest,
yes, that's why I asked.
In terms of great question. But in terms of the two openers, I would have said that they would have been the real attacking ones, both of whom had some decent strike rates this season. Sophie Luff as well, she's got history here at EdgBLASTon, scored 111 not outs in the one-day cup game. Very, very classy operator, loves to score down the ground, and of course Amanda Jade Wellington as well as Taylor bowling here too. The aforementioned Luff will just be a single, but I don't think there's really many teams in the entire competition who have got a Laura Harris. Laura Harris is very much almost like this phenomenon, isn't she? So yeah, it's difficult to say at this point, but I think just looking at the current situation, Bears on top.
Certainly are. Taylor's in again, and more good glove work from Nat Wraith. It's really good stumping earlier. Did you see that?
Yeah, just pushed it past, didn't she? But yeah, she's keeping the batters honest as well. They desperately search for boundaries. And again, just that point about, the top order both opening batters have the best strike rates for Somerset, as Aaron was saying. I mean, this is the value of holding back your power hitter later, especially if they can play with some license. Although maybe when you're chasing, there's a slightly different psychology at play, but there's a case to be made.
Good use of the feet that time by Fran Wilson, but it's only one more to the total. And again, it's a good over from Millie Taylor. 3 singles so far.
And they're making them work really hard as well for the singles. The Bears are just, keeping things very tight. Even though it's full deliveries, they have to chase them down, come down the track, drive the ball.
Here is that last ball of the over, and there's going to be no run there as well. That's clever from Millie Taylor. It's really good from the Bears as we reach the halfway point of the Somerset innings. They are chasing another 144 to win, so they are 59 for 2 at the halfway stage. What were the Bears at the halfway stage, Aaron?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, Adam, because I was just about to tell you, 73 for 5. But this is where the stat from Hypercourse comes into it, because there were 99 runs scored after that, 96 of which came off the bats. Gents, would you like to have a guess how many came off the bat of Laura Harris?
At the 10 over stage?
From overs 11 to 20, how many of those 96 runs do you think came from Laura Harris?
75.
What was her score, sorry? What did she finish on?
77.
Okay, I would go 77 of them.
77 of them.
Well, I was trying to make that point. You just
well, she didn't. Yeah, but
she got in it. Yeah, she got in the 11th over.
Yeah. So that kind of makes sense.
Well, well done for checking. Well done.
Hannah Baker again. So, but a leg spin from this pavilion end. He knows everything.
He does. He does.
Quite remarkable. Going to be a single to the total.
He does it all without a computer as well. It's very impressive.
I know. I find that quite astonishing, actually, because I need my iPad and things when I'm doing anything.
Your
He does it all on the phone, and it's all in the brain.
Well, this is how people do it now. People, like a friend of mine who's a novelist told me that the current phenomenon is writing novels on your phone.
Okay. So a nice shot into the leg side from Sophie Luff again. Still going to just be one. See some Hannah Baker.
I'm a bit old-fashioned. See, if I've got to write something long, like if it's more than an A4 page, I've got to open up like a computer or a laptop or something like that to type it in. I'm a bit old-fashioned, but now people are writing whole books in their phones.
Short books?
Just novels.
Oh, okay. That's a full toss, and it's not probably going to be dealt with like it should. It's almost just steered down the ground to Izzy Wong, and probably a bit frustrating there for Wilson that she didn't make more of that.
That could have been the release shot there. That could have been exactly what they were waiting for. A rare loose delivery in this passage of play from the Bears.
Now the time has come, but that's gone straight up in the air, and it's going to be a caught and bowled, and it is. And Baker takes the wicket off her own bowling. Luff is on her way for 13, and the Bears strike again, 62 for 3. And it's Hannah Baker this time doing the damage.
Yeah, that was a shot born entirely of frustration, of being put under intense pressure by the bowlers. They were not giving any opportunities for the big shots. The boundaries weren't coming, and with that required run rate getting up close to 12, Sophie Luff was acutely aware that she had to go after the bowling. And in the end, a pretty straightforward catch for Baker, and the Bears well and truly on top in this match now.
I just thought for a moment Hannah thought she was going to spill that. It was just her reaction after she got it, as if to say, "Oh, that was close." Almost just went out of the end of her fingers, but really nice for Hannah Baker.
I think it was swirling a little bit in the air because it came off the toe, which already imparts a little bit of spin on the ball. And when it goes up in the end, the wind takes it around. She followed it really well because, I mean, I don't know if you picked up on this, Adam, but recently I've seen what feels like so many straightforward catches go down in the men's game. It's become a more and more of a phenomenon in modern cricket. But the catches have been well, a couple of drops in the Bears innings from Somerset, but generally catches have been well held today.
They have, which in the conditions, you've been outside more than I have, it is probably
very windy.
blustery out there.
It's pretty, I'm grateful for the hoodie, let's put it that way.
Amanda Jade Wellington, your friend,
yes,
has come to the crease. Let's see what she's got. We may need some kind of comic book hero effort here if she's going to dig Somerset out of this right now. 62 for 3.
Superhero effort, yeah.
And sweeping immediately for a single.
Do you know,
one to the total.
She has a Pokemon museum in her home.
Well, look, Pokemon's an interesting one, isn't it? Because my wife still chases Pokemon on the phone when you're out walking.
Oh, she plays the Pokemon game.
She does, yeah.
It's quite addictive, yeah.
And the kids were always really into Pokemon. And I thought she'd have got, you know, everyone got bored of like Farmville and things like that after a little while, and building houses and all those kind of things. She's not got bored of Pokemon for absolutely years, and I don't really understand it. But there we go. 63 for 3 at the end of the 11th over.
Yeah, Amanda Jade Wellington, terrific character.
Izzy Wong is returning to the attack from the Birmingham end for the Bears. 9 overs remaining, 110 more runs required to win. So 110 off 54 balls. So we're already at 12 and over. 2 runs a ball. And Izzy Wong, who started really nicely today with a slower ball, bit of a floaty ball as well. And they'll just get 1 to the total.
As well watched by the batter and adjusted their shot. But again, it's just going to get a single. I thought Izzy Wong bowled really well. As you say, great control. Just one of those classical swing bowlers who likes to bowl full, keep the ball as full as possible, allow it that room to swing. And she bowled with great effect, I thought, a little bit earlier.
It's good to see her back, isn't it? Back and firing on all cylinders after a tough summer last year. Oh, again, she's gone the slower ball. And there was plenty of time for Fran Wilson to watch it, for all of us to watch it, and it just missed the off stump.
Yeah, she's. I've seen her in and around the England team as well this summer so far with the West Indies team that's been over. She's been part of the squad, and it's been great to see her back in that mix because she's a very, very talented bowler, and she was slightly out of sorts last season, but it looks like she's back on it now.
Yep, new management, of course, at England for the women's team as well. Seems like it's a rejuvenated group as well. New captaincy, which is, you know, nothing against Heather Knight's captaincy, but sometimes that change just brings about a different atmosphere. And I mean, wow, what we've seen from former Bear, of course, Amy Jones in those opening two ODIs is extraordinary.
It was really nice to chat to Amy after those one of her innings, which I had a chance to do, and
he tried following her there.
Yeah.
It's a wide ball.
I think she's allowed one of those at least after the way she's been bowling. But yeah, she was absolutely thrilled with Amy Jones, and that England team, as you say, it does feel a little bit different. The ODI series win against the West Indies, it was just so impressive the way they applied themselves. Heather Knight playing her role as specialist batter as well. seems rejuvenated in the way that she's been playing her cricket. And Natseva Brunt, just a brilliant, authoritative leader, I think.
It's going to be one more to the total. They're very much dealing in singles here. Somerset, as we said earlier, bottom of the table. It's 4 points for a win. So this would move the Bears up onto 11 if they could be victorious here. And I think we're potentially in line for a possible bonus point as well. There's a bit of facial kind of maybe. You know, when you're trying to barter for something and the shopkeeper that you're bartering with looks and he goes, that's what Aaron's looking like when I asked that question.
Well, he needs to know the exact figure. So I think it needs to be under 117, 118, something like that, Aaron? No, he's going to check the exact number.
Oh, cut that very late off the stumps. Now get a single for it, despite it not piercing the circle and being fielded by Callis. Dangerous game, I think, to Izzy Wong when you're cutting it that late off middle stump.
Well, they're really banking on it because she's gone slower ball every delivery this over so far, other than the one that went wide down the leg side. So they're kind of banking on the fact that every ball's going to be a slower ball. Now, does she go with a complete bluff over? This is what I'm curious with. Will this be yet another slower ball?
5 off the over so far, and that's another wide down the leg side. Well taken in the end from Wraith, who does really well, but it will mean Izzy has to deliver another. Just happy to follow the batsman. She's playing the game, isn't she? I don't know if changing ends has just upset the rhythm a little bit. Change of wind as well at that far end compared to what she was used to early on.
Yeah.
All these factors tend to come into play. Last of the over. And same again. We're going to get another one.
Yeah, it happens sometimes to bowlers. You lose your rhythm a little bit, or you get settled into the wrong rhythm sometimes, and it becomes so difficult to break it. It sounds really bizarre to a layman sort of watching me. Well, just correct, just bowl straighter. But you're settled into a rhythm, and it's not just one. You're not just letting go of a ball. It's everything that sort of builds into that. She just needs to correct that, Izzy, at the moment, and just get out of this over.
She does. 70 for 3. This time the last ball, surely. Yeah. Wellington comes down, and they'll grab a single. One more to the total. 71 for 3 then after 12 overs. And our mathematician can give us the number that they need to get them out by.
Not as of yet. I'm still doing the maths on it.
It's basically 75% of 172.
Which would be 129.
There you go. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it would be
129.
Under 129 and a bonus point for the Bears.
Okay. Seems quite tough to get bonus points, I think that, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you are able to put in a performance that dominant, you deserve the extra point, I feel like. And
I think they only got it by a run against Durham, didn't they? It was quite tight. So
a few years ago in the WBBL, they used bash boost. They had something called a bash boost point, which was whichever team had a higher score at the halfway point got an extra point.
See, I would have called it the bash boost bonus because that way it was an alliteration that worked better than point at the end. But
bash boost point, yeah. But
bash boost bonus, no.
Bash boost bonus point. I mean, maybe it's just too many B's. It's already there's a lot of B's going on already.
Yeah, this is very true.
BBL, WBBL.
Hannah Baker's in. She's bowled one ball of this her third over. This time that's a full toss. That's only going to get them a single again. 72 for 3 they move on to. Wellington on 5, Wilson on 25. Partnership 10 from 10. So they're taking their time about this. 101 required off 46 balls, and it's straight back at Hannah Baker, but evasive action was required because that was given a real old thump by Fran Wilson, and 4 more to the total.
And she's been out there a long time now, Fran Wilson, onto 29 of 27 balls. Like, she has to kick on a little bit and make sure at least they can prevent the bonus point for the Bears, but also just give them a chance. Like, make sure they sort of try and chase the 97 of 45. It's not impossible.
She'll try again as she dances down the wicket. This time there is no run because Georgia Davis is there to fill quite comfortably. 76 for 3. If you can have a look, Aaron, as to how many boundaries they've scored in this innings, I'll be intrigued. There's another one coming here, you feel. Oh, that's brilliant stop. Just a brilliant bit of fielding all round on that square leg boundary by, I think it's Karis Paverley. First stop and then just about grabbing it
Yeah, that was really tricky because the ball was going away from her. She had to get full stretch to pull it back in and then make sure it didn't trickle over the boundary sponge as well. So terrific effort in the deep from Pavley.
Last of the over from Hannah Baker. Oh, that's a brilliant stop as well. Laura Harris outstretched. Superb piece of fielding. Completes the 13th over. 78 for 3. Aaron?
Yes, so in this innings so far, 7 boundaries for Somerset. So within the first 10 of the Bears innings, they had already scored 9. So boundaries definitely being very hard to come by. And of course, we saw that final 10 over blitz, didn't we, from Laura Harris, which has completely turned this game on its head. Let's not forget that at the 10 over mark, the Bears were 73 for 5. So yeah, it was some reversal, wasn't it, from the home side?
It was, and a brilliant bit of fielding there from Laura Harris as well.
Yeah, I like that. A player that doesn't rest on their laurels or anything like that. She could, I mean, she doesn't have to be a super fielder, but she throws herself around, very committed, and just a really, really good get, I think, for the Bears. It could be quite significant this season.
7 overs remaining, so looking at about 51 they'd require to try and get them out by or restrict them to get this bonus point. That's 7 and over. That's going to be quite a challenge, I think, for Somerset if they carry on at this current rate. Millie Taylor's back in and bowling from the Birmingham end. It's a full toss. They'll get 1 and they'll think about the second, which they've come for. And the throw from Perrin not quite as accurate as she'd have hoped for. And they do return for a second.
That's a reasonably safe shot, but the intent was to get it to the boundary. Mid-off is up inside the circle. So there's a big old gap there, but just proving really elusive, these boundaries.
I hate to say that Fran Wilson's the only hope here, but when you've got yourselves to 30 out the total of 80 so far, it's really time for you to put the foot on the gas, isn't it?
Yeah, she kind of has to. She spent enough time out there now. She can understand the conditions, and the Bears have bowled really well to her, I would say. I think that's one of the factors for sure, but at this point you have to start finding your range and clearing the boundary.
Crowd starting to fill up, and again this lovely ball from Millie Taylor, missed by Fran Wilson.
I could see Hugh Bear and Carmen Bear having some fun in the Hollies already.
They've got very natty t-shirts on today, I noticed.
They do.
The ball is another full toss, just falls short of Perrin. Just be 1 more to the total. She's fired that in as Davina Perrin. She throws the ball in the same manner she plays the rest of her cricket, full force and at high speed.
They could have a little bit of fun at the moment, the Bears. I mean, Wilson just can't find her timing right now. A runner ball 31 is not what you want when you're chasing down 173 target. This has been like a below par performance from them so far. Unless something remarkable happens, they can resign pretty much to their fate already.
Just 4 off the over from Millie Taylor so far. She bowls to Washington and she's gone. Beats her all ends up. And it's out. Taylor strikes. Wellington is on her way for 9. And it's 82 for 4 now from 14 overs.
Yeah, it was another shot born out of frustration and just a desire to do something different, trying to be inventive. She turned around for the switch hit at Wellington, but really beautiful piece of flight. Goes right through her, smashes the stumps. That's a well-earned wicket for Taylor.
82 for 4 then, 6 overs to go, 91 is the target that's required for Somerset. And it's a very good Friday so far for the Bears. As we look again at this, it's an unconventional style really from Millie Taylor, but it's what works for you, and on this occasion it's really worked for her.
Yeah, it just went through it, didn't she? She made sure she kept the trajectory very straight, not too much turn on offer anyway, and it was all a case of you miss, I hit, and made absolutely no mistake, did Millie Taylor. But she's bowled really well today, 2 overs, 1 for 7. She deserved that wicket. I think it was a fair reflection on her execution and the pressure that the Bears have exerted over the Somerset team today. They've been very, very impressive. Very complete performance so far from the Bears.
Georgia Davis is back, the skipper from the pavilion end. Must be very pleased with her team's performance so far. Excellent with the bat, and she gets a wicket as well. And the catch is taken quite comfortably, and there's joy all round as they strike once more. And it's Hannah Baker with the grab, and that really, you feel, is the end of Somerset's chances here. It's the departure of Fran Wilson. Caught Baker, bowled by Davies for 31, and it's 82 for 5.
Yeah, again, shot born out of the situation, trying to be aggressive, trying to find the gap, going aerial, but just picking out the fielder at mid-off. It's a disappointing innings, that, from Fran Wilson. She knows she can play a significantly better part than she has today. Just couldn't really get going, couldn't find the gaps when she was striking the ball well, or find the timing when the deliveries presented themselves. And that dismissal really sort of sums up the innings in a nutshell. She accumulated well, but just put a lot of pressure on herself, possibly some of her teammates, with an inability to score runs quickly. Now then, Somerset really staring down the barrel of relinquishing a bonus point here to the Bears. That would be big. They'd go top of the table and also have a bit of breathing room, the Bears.
Yeah, there's another game going on today. Aaron, is there an update on how that's progressing elsewhere? Only the 2 games this afternoon in the Women's Blast.
Yep, so the other game is between the Blaze and Essex. We'll get you an update on that in just a few moments' time. Unfortunately, the internet a little bit slow on that occasion.
That's fine. It's fine, because Georgie Davis is back at her mark here, and Skelton has come in to join Griffiths. Neither of them have faced the ball up till that moment. Then, of course, Skelton on strike immediately. I wonder if she's batting with those sunglasses.
Oof, that'd be a style statement, wouldn't it?
Look. No, I don't think she is.
No,
I think she needs them at this point. Couple of wickets today for Georgie Davis, the Bears captain. She's bowled really nicely as well, actually. 2.5 overs in here, 2 for 7 so far. It could be one of those rare wicket maidens here.
Yeah, still on. It's still on.
Yeah.
So what does she have to do to snatch that Virtu Player of the Match award from Laura Harris?
I don't think it's possible.
What if she got a hat-trick next over?
Well, possibly, yeah. I mean, that could do it. I'm just... there's a single off this over as well. There's gone our chance of a rare old wicket maiden in T20 cricket.
Yep, we do have that score update as well, or I should say results.
Oh.
From Derby, where the Blaze have beaten Essex by 7 wickets with 35 balls to spare. So, pretty dominant display that from the East Midlands outfit. Catherine Bryce, unsurprisingly, scoring a half-century.
Last ball of the over, and that's just going to bring another single. I think about a second, but no chance. And that's an incredibly good over from the skipper again. And a wicket, and just 2 off it. And after 15 overs, it's 84 for 5. Artif has departed. He will return, obviously, at the end of the innings, which is a mere 5 overs away. 89 required from 30 balls. Chloe Brewer is back alongside. Have you been downstairs in the dressing room? Have you?
No, I've been a couple of doors down. I don't think I'll be quick enough to race down.
You had 10 overs. What do you mean?
I was pushing it.
Oh, okay. It's going to be a happy dressing room, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't complain. The girls have bowled so well. We've given Somerset batters nothing to play with here.
Hannah Baker's back, 1 for 15 from her 3 overs so far. And that could be about to become 2, is it? No, it's just not going to quite reach Caris Pavley in the field. And it's another one to the total. 85 for 5. This ability to just dry up the boundaries and just, even if you let them have 4 or 5 singles in an over, I mean, it's caused them massive problems because the pressure just mounts, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. They've completely killed the game, drying up all those boundaries, as you said, and chasing a total like this, you're really struggling.
So the race on now for the bonus point. Obviously, you've not been with us, so 129.
Yep, 129 if it goes to all 20 overs, that is. If not, we've got some more maths to do.
Okay, that's fine. That's going to be a single into the leg side. So looking at where we're at now, they're going to need to score 43 from the remaining 4 and a bit overs. I mean, that's given the way they're going, that's a tall ask. And because it's so, the table is, I envisage the table being quite tight, and it's the race for the top 3, really, isn't it, to get to finals day. Those bonus points could end up being really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Those bonus point wins can really put you ahead of others because they're quite rare to come by. Like, they're hard. You have to put in some serious performances to get them. So could put us leaps and bounds above the others.
Taken off the stumps by Griffiths. Just going to be one again. Fizzed in. I was saying this actually when Artif was here. Davina Perrin has one way of playing cricket, and it's full throttle, isn't it? There's a couple of throws have come in, and I think the bowler at that end has been like, whoa, any need?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something with Davis. She does everything wholeheartedly.
Which we love. It's a full toss that's dealt with into the leg side. Just going to be a 1 again. One more to the total. And that moves the score on to 88 for 5 after 16 overs to 4 to go. They need 85 to win from 24 balls, but the key thing here for the Bears to get this bonus point is to try and restrict them to under 129. So fingers crossed that's happened. That's actually the end of Hannah Baker's spell as well. And to have her back in the side, Aaron, what kind of numbers did we have for the 4 overs? They're very good, I think.
Yeah, 1 for 19 from her 4 overs, and I'm really happy for Hannah today because in terms of the average this season in the first 3 matches, has struggled to get consistently in the wickets column. Just took the 1 wicket, conceding 75 runs, I think it was. So honestly, I'm absolutely chuffed for her.
Yeah, it's bowled really, really well. We like her leg spin. Skipper's bowled all right as well. Not bad, is she? 2 for 10.
Yeah, she's bowled incredibly tightly. I love how she mixes up coming round and over a wicket as well.
Well, we were talking about that. So is this based on matchups to certain players that she's making that decision, or is it something that she's kind of done while she's out there? Or
I think it might be when she's out there. She's got such a good judge and tell on how batters are batting and how to restrict them. It's quite hard batting against her in the nets, I must say.
We're trying to give her a bit of treatment, but she's managed to parry that. Good bit of fielding off your own bowling. Again, restricting them to just a single. 3 singles off the first 3 balls of the over. These are going to be very nice figures for Georgia at the end of this over, I think. And could be another wicket, and is. That's an excellent catch. Davis has her 3rd. And it's a really good catch from Abby Freeborn. 91 for 6 now. And Davis with 3 for 12.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, I think George is going to go off this over with some pretty decent figures.
Well, Artif asked the question while you weren't here, what's she going to have to do to snatch the Player of the Match award from Laura? And I said, surely it's not possible, but are we into career best territory yet? Or are we?
Not quite.
Okay.
5 for 14.
Oh, wow.
Georgia's best. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Incredible figures. And in terms of her campaign so far, that's her 6th wicket at EdgBLASTon already in the first 2 matches. So great to see the captain doing well as Ellie Anderson comes out to the middle. Also, just to clear up a little bit of confusion for any Somerset fans tuning into the stream, it was Emma Corney who unfortunately suffered that injury earlier. So we don't think that she'll come out to bat, which as a result means that the Bears only need 9 wickets.
Very good point, Aaron. That's what he's here for, you see. Give us all that crucial information. I was looking down my batting order thinking what's happened to Emma, because obviously she's slated to come in at 3, and obviously there's a bit of flexibility in the T20 order as we see. I hope she's well. That was a horrible little moment when she went to field that ball earlier. She did leave her on a stretcher with it in a brace, so best wishes to Emma for a speedy recovery. You know how it feels with the old having to leave the field in agony.
Yeah, absolutely. My heart went out to her, to be honest. I hope it's not too bad.
Last ball then from the skipper, and almost gets us dumping as well, but not quite. That's a brilliant 4 overs. It really is. 4 overs, 3 for 12 for Georgia Davis. True captain's performance with the ball. And just turning the screw some more here on Somerset. 91 for 6 now after 17 overs.
Yeah, we can hear the applause there from a crowd. What a spell that was from G Davis. Is
that what we call her, the G Davis?
G Davis. G. I feel like it's weird calling her Georgia because that's her full name. I don't think I've ever called her Georgia to her face.
You just call her G?
Just G.
G, okay. Well, that's fine, you know, listen, we know who we're supporting here. It says behind us. It's all about the Bears, so we can call her G too, I suppose. Caris Paverley is back into the attack. Wicketless so far today. She'll probably want to put that right in the next couple of overs. We've got 3 to go. 92 for 6 now. Skelton is on to 6. Anderson yet to score. And what's been a really, really good afternoon for the Bears. Getting back to winning ways and actually winning all your home games. I mean, that will do the job quite nicely, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. To be a fan at EdgBLASTon, hey?
It'll be 2 out of 2 so far. If you weren't with us earlier on the stream, maybe, and you're not really sure about the format, it's 8 teams. You play each other home and away, so 14 matches in total, 4 points for a win. There's 1 available as a bonus as well. Finals day is at the Kia Oval, 27th of July. And on that occasion as well, there will be the person who finishes top of the table. That's an excellent bit of fielding there from Abby Freeborn. Applause all round from her teammates. As I say, it's a finalist. The top of the table goes straight to the final. Second and third play each other on that same day, on finals day at the Oval. I was going to say you always get a good wicket at the Oval, but I've noticed Surrey's T20 games so far, some of the scoring has been a little bit on the low side. It's played out into the offside for another single. But those finals days are always great to be involved in, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It was always such a good atmosphere at them, and yeah, pretty exciting days.
One more coming to the total. And 1 more to come in the over from Caris Paverley. 96 for 6 now. Just 13 balls of the innings remain. And that bonus point looking all the more likely as things stand.
Yeah. It's really good as well. So girls have continued to bowl on the dot really and not get complacent, because it's quite easy to look at the scoreboard and go, oh, that's it, game done. But they're not giving Somerset about as anything here.
Let's see who's going to have a bowl at this pavilion end. I want to check on the boundary count again. Sorry to be awkward, Aaron, but it just feels like they may have even struggled to reach double figures in boundaries.
Well, they still haven't. Oh. And at this stage, I mean, this was when we had the maelstrom of Laura Harris's boundaries, wasn't it? The amount of 4s and 6s, 4 6s to be specific. I mean, it was just the perfect end, wasn't it, for the Bears? So in terms of the boundary counts, Bears firmly on top in that metric and firmly on top in this game as well.
Yeah, the fact they haven't even reached double figures, and here we are about to start over 19. Real credit to the Bears bowlers. Millie Taylor is back to bowl her 3rd over. That was a well-deserved wicket she picked up last time she had the ball in hand as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What a big wicket that was. I believe it was it Fran? No, it wasn't Fran, it was Amanda Jade Wellington, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, what a catch! What a catch from Laura Harris! Well, she does it with the bat, and now she's doing it in the field too. That is extraordinary. You just thought for a moment it was going over her head, and then the right hand is up, and she plucks it out the air. And it's another wicket. Skelton is gone off the bowling of Taylor, and Somerset at 98 for 7. Is there anything this woman can't do?
Well, I think mine and Aaron's jaw was on the floor there. What a catch. She's plucked that out of thin air, and day keeps on getting better and better.
Well, again, we come back to that conversation about who's getting player of the match. I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, that is extraordinary. She's timed that jump to absolute perfection. And do you know the other thing about it for me? She's just so casual. It's a casual effort. It's not like she's even, strained herself in the process. That's extraordinary.
Wow. That was another moment today. Laura Harris has left me absolutely speechless.
Not for the first time today.
Yeah.
Molly Robbins is in. I just go back to Molly Robbins didn't bowl that a fourth over at the end of the innings, did she? Despite the fact she'd done so well early on for Somerset. I thought she was guaranteed to get a fourth over before the end of the innings, but they did go spin to the close, didn't they? 98 for 7 then. 10 balls remaining, as we say, probably only 9 wickets to take here because of that injury to Emma Corney while Somerset were fielding. Taylor in again. Oh, that's got to be close. It's got to be close. It is close. It is out. And she's on a hat-trick. Is Millie Taylor. Robbins has gone first ball. It was a lovely ball, and, well, I said it was close. There was really no doubt in my mind, but I'm not the umpire. So Robbins is on her way. LBW to Millie Taylor. First ball, and it's 98 for 8.
Big this. I would not want to be the next batter coming in. You know, hat-trick ball to win the game.
Well, she's played all around it, hasn't she? A little look down from Molly Robbins as if to say, you sure, umpire? Yeah, I think everyone in the ground was fairly sure apart from Molly Robbins. Really nice from Millie Taylor. And I mean, look, 3 for 8 she's taken. She's bowled brilliantly today. Yeah,
absolutely. And if I told you that this is her first year playing professional cricket,
I'd think you were lying to me.
Yeah, exactly. She's what a talent.
Hannah Jones is potentially a hat-trick victim. Now, what is Georgia Davis going to do here in terms of field for her? Well, she's put a slip in. We've got 2 close catches in at short mid-wicket and short extra cover. Here we go then for the hat-trick. Oh, it's cut away and they're going to get a single. Well, never mind. Well, we said, was there anything that could stop Laura Harris getting the Player of the Match award, the Virtue Player of the Match at the end of the game? But I think maybe a hat-trick might have done it.
It might have been.
You just don't know, do you? 99 for 8. Can they get to 3 figures? There's 2 balls left in Millie Taylor's over. And they will. It's a single into the leg side. And again, that lone clapper who's come from the West Country. Maybe they've had too much cider. With a round of applause for Somerset, who reach the 100 mark. 1 ball to come in the 19th over. Oh, they've got a thin edge on it. Well, if the slip had stayed in place, that would have been gone. They may actually get a boundary here. Oh, again, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant from Abby Freeborn. If at first you don't succeed, she did try again and prevented the boundary.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good bit of fielding there. She did well to pick herself up and go after it to stop that 4. Oh, we see her smiling on screen there.
She is 103 for 8 then. And it's going to be Izzy Wong who will bowl the final over from the Birmingham end. And well, you can hear the crowds getting louder as the afternoon progresses. The Holly's starting to be filled up. A reminder, of course, we will have a second stream for you today. That's going to be underway at around about 6:40. And that's as the Bears men take on Yorkshire in the men's Vitality Blast. But right here, right now, it looks like Bears women are heading top of the Blast table and taking a bonus point with them. So it'll be a 5-point game and it'll put them on 12 points from their 4 matches so far. It's slow and straight from Izzy Wong. It's up in the air. Perrin's underneath it and pouches it without any real danger. And that's it. It's a victory for the Bears. And Izzy Wong grabs her second of the game. And it's a victory with a bonus point as well that will take the Bears top of the table. Perrin with the catch to take that final wicket. Slower ball again from Izzy Wong.
Yeah, what a way to finish the game. Some great entertainment for the crowd and 5-point win. What more could you want?
Exactly. It is that slower ball. It's straight and it meant Jones end up rushing through the shot. And as we said, because of that injury to Emma Corney, only 9 wickets to take, and they've done it in absolute style here. 103 for 9, Somerset finish on. And Izzy Wong with her second of the game. Aaron, just to confirm, that is 4 points and a bonus point?
It is indeed, yep. So 5 points in total. The Bears go top of the T20 Blast table, which is lovely. The Blaze, of course, got 4 points in their victory over Essex. They move on to 11, but as a result of that bonus points, the Bears move on to 12. And also, I mean, what a fantastic performance that is. We thought the 42-run win over Durham was impressive. I mean, look at that for a winning margin, 69 runs. That is emphatic from Georgia Davis's side.
It is. Sharing of the wickets fairly even as well. Georgia Davis with 3, Millie Taylor with 3, Izzy Wong with 2, and then 1 as well for Hannah Baker. And that terrific catch as well from Laura Harris as well. What more could you want? It's a terrific win for the Bears, and they go top of the Women's Blast.
Every great team has its unsung heroes. The all-rounders, the heavy lifters, putting their organisation on the map. We're talking about you, the humble IT engineer, supporting EdgBLASTon across the season. They're the ones delivering, day after day.
Well, what a fantastic performance from the Bears here at EdgBLASTon, starting this doubleheader off with a victory over Somerset by 69 runs, a win that takes them to the top of the tables in the Vitality Blast. Later on, we've still got a match to come, Bears taking on Yorkshire in the men's action in the Vitality Blast. That will be at 7 o'clock. Our coverage will start at 20 to 7 on that went for 4, and then Izzy Wong, you know, early doors. Beautiful bit of bowling, got herself a nice, well, an opportunity for a wicket there. There's a drop chance in the covers. Now at that point their heads could have dropped. Their heads could have dropped, and they could have thought, okay, you know, this might not be our day. It's a very attacking opening partnership as well for the Somerset team, the duo who really come.
Yeah, absolutely. But Somerset batters came out. It was pretty hard. You see that sent over for 6, but I feel like Bears bowlers didn't give him too much, and well, batter boundaries kept on drying up. Apologies.
Yeah, there was a long phase in the middle. I mean, we're looking at some of the highlights, so there were some boundaries there for the batters. This was a lovely piece of bowling, actually, just the one that left the right-hander, just went across her. It was just brilliant. She danced down the wicket, and she knew she was beaten. Just really astute piece of bowling that time by the captain. And then, you know, all these attacking shots were attempted. It's what happens when their scoring rate goes up to, the required rate goes up to 10, 11, 12 and over. You have to start playing attacking shots, and you can find yourself getting into all sorts of trouble like on that occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. There was so much pressure on the Somerset batters there. It's just...
nearly took the bowler out with that one, didn't she?
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to have to pick her up off the floor if she got in the way of that. But yeah, they really dried up the opportunities and put so much pressure on the Somerset batters.
The fielding at towards the end as well was really good. We just saw a terrific fielding effort there. But yeah, those batters kept coming after them. That was Amanda Jade Wellington looking for a reverse sweep, missing. But they had to be inventive. They had to try, because the game was pretty much gone at sort of the 12 over mark at that point. And no boundaries coming. It's very hard to find boundaries down the ground. And then looking square of the wicket. Hard to do that against quality slow bowlers.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the square boundaries being so big, it's short straight here at EdgBLASTon. So it was such a good decision to get the slightly slower spin bowling options on, and it proved to be the right call.
Yeah, they held their catch as well. I thought the Bears towards the end, just it's a chance where things can get a little bit complacent. Pretty straightforward chances, to be fair. Although there's a blinder coming up from Laura Harris in a while, but I thought again they just kept on their task. Sort of ruthless execution towards the end from the Bears as well. Really pushed that pressure home. Wilson, who batted for pretty much a runnable 30 odd, she really could never really break free.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say it was a clinical performance from the Bears here, and they've really showcased some of the best of what they could. So yeah, good day to be watching.
Yeah, good catches as well. There was another really good catch taken in the gully area. As we'll take another look at it, just got to think outside. This is the blinder. This is the blinder from Laura Harris. One-handed, batter looking to go inside out, and Laura Harris just times the jump perfectly and really casually. Makes it look so easy. It was such a difficult chance. She held it really, really well, and it just put the, as I said, the exclamation mark on that performance. There we go, the slow finger raise for that LBW. The Bears just completely ruthless towards the end, and now they find themselves top of the table. They've got to be really pleased with that. Just the start of this campaign, coming into this a little bit mixed, to win, the loss, and the draw as well. But just to have this kind of big win here by 69 runs, it's something that's going to fill the team with confidence, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Those bonus point wins are so hard to come by. The fact that we've got 2 so far in this campaign really puts us at leaps and bounds above the other teams who hasn't come across many.
Yeah, so that was a slightly comical fielding effort, but good dedication, I'm going to say, from the fielder. And Izzy Wong towards the end, bringing on her pace. That one went a long way up in the air. The catch was taken, and that was the game for the Bears. Terrific performance, pick up the bonus point as well. And they sit on top of this league. And, Adam mentioned it on commentary, it's very significant to end up on top of the points table as well, because if you are in #1 spot, you're through to that finals. You're through to the final. You can wait and watch as teams 2 and 3 fight it out for a spot. So you're in a very advantageous position if you can finish top.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long competition, but if we can maintain this kind of gap between the Bears and I believe Blaze are now second.
Yes.
So if we can make that gap even bigger, it's secure in our spot in finals day.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, it's a little bit different to the men's blast, obviously, where the top 4 are basically even, really. I mean, the top 8 really are even, 4 from each half. But there's a real advantage to finishing on top. That noise you can hear, I think, is the hover cover, by the way. It's being pulled on. Hopefully there's not too much weather, or maybe it's just a precautionary thing ahead of the men's game. Good to see that's loud coming through my earpiece. But it's one of those things where hopefully the weather will hold out. That game's going to start in about 50 minutes time. Our stream will go live in a half hour on that. But just reflecting on a very strong performance today from the Bears women. They were just so clinical, and I thought it was a great word you used, Chloe, as well. Clinical in the way that they executed, and just so ruthless towards the end, making sure they pressed home every advantage. There was still room for improvement for me, though. I mean, there was a phase at the top where a lot of wickets fell, and, had that Laura Harris innings not come through, it could have been a slightly different scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the girls really bounced back, and Stair Callis batted really well, formed a little partnership after steady the ship.
Yeah.
So that Laura Harris can come in and be as destructive as she was.
Oh, this is incredible. I mean, she's, really is kind of showing how she's almost a league apart from several players. I mean, there were times where the bowlers, they had a strategy, they worked out this strategy. At times they didn't execute it so well, but they try to hang the ball outside the off stump, go for that wide Yorker length, but she just found a way to push everything to the boundary.
Yeah, absolutely. She's one of those players where do you bowl? You can't. Everything is being sailed over the boundary.
Yeah, I think in a moment we're going to actually be joined. There she is. She's joined us in the studio. The woman of the moment. What a performance from Laura Harris. How are you? thank you so much for jumping on our pick, and I'm going to give you this one. There we go, and we'll make sure you're unmuted over here so we can have a chat. Laura Harris is in the studio here at Bears TV. What a performance today, Laura. I mean, you must be absolutely thrilled, in terrific form. Already got a half century, a second one today, and just it must have been demoralising for the bowlers that you were bowling to, because you're just smashing them to all parts. How thrilled are you with your form right now?
Yeah, look, it's all, just take it as it comes. I sort of am one of those players where I know it can be a bit hit and miss, so you've got to really enjoy the days that you come off.
Well, you say that, hit and miss. I mean, 2 50s in 3 efforts, it's not bad. And, you know, especially today, a terrific score. You even managed to score a few more than Grace did for Surrey on her debut as well. Is that something that's going to get mentioned in the family WhatsApp group?
Oh, I had a joke with her yesterday saying just come straight in and try and one-up me. So I think a little bit of healthy competition is always good, but I'll take the Harris of the day.
Yeah, the Harris of the day for sure. I mean, the favourite Harris of EdgBLASTon, that much I can tell you. I mean, so what do you put your form down to at the moment? Because you're really middling everything, you're picking everything up, you know, lining things up and just looking almost invincible at times out there. What are you putting it down to?
I think just still at contact. I think I've worked a lot and just slight changes in setup. Grace and I have worked a bit together, just hitting balls. Obviously load for me is massive, and just keeping that momentum through the comp. So the closer I get my foot to the ball, usually the better I hit it.
Yeah, and you sort of very strong. We've been doing a bit of analysis here through our statistician, and we're gonna get him involved in a second. I know he's chomping at the bit, Aaron, to jump in, but I'll bring him in a second. But I mean, you're very strong, particularly through the square leg and the sort of mid-wicket region. You kind of get across the stumps, and I mean, you're aware of this sort of strategy bowlers seem to be employing to try and hang it out wide outside the off stump. It doesn't matter because you can still smash it across the other side. But I mean, you've sort of adjusted, I feel like, your stance maybe in that arena.
I just talk a lot about. I normally start middle leg, but when slower bowlers come on early, just moving to that off stump line, and basically going, well, if you want to target the stumps, then you're just keeping all that leg side in play, and if you want to hang it wide, I'm a bit closer to it.
Yeah.
To be able to hit at more areas of the ground.
I think, I'm pretty sure in the next, you might see 4 fielders on the boundary, on the leg side boundary, just sort of waiting. But it was a terrific hitting as well. I mean, and the win today must be the really big thing. It's taken you guys to the top of the table, and you've picked up a bonus point. Just a really emphatic performance, a big win. What's the mood like in the camp?
Yeah, I think we probably had a pretty average last game. I dare say, just things not going our way a bit, and probably a bit early dropped our heads. So just worked really hard on trying to stick together a bit more and just enjoy being out there, enjoy each other's company and playing good cricket.
You certainly earned it, sitting comfortably at the top of the table at the moment. We've already talked about what an advantage that is. Aaron, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I do. First and foremost, Laura, congratulations. Absolutely outstanding yet again. And I just thought I'd leave us on quite a nice stat, because we've seen some sub-20 ball 50s in the women's game from the likes of Sophie Devine and, of course, Phoebe Litchfield. Richa Ghosh got one from 18. Laura, in the past 2 games, you've hit sub-20 ball 50s in back-to-back matches. And in that, I suppose, medium of doing so, you've become the first player in the women's game to achieve that. So congratulations, the first one to get multiple sub-20 ball 50s. So honestly, Laura, you've been an absolute revelation here at the Bears. We're absolutely chuffed to have you, and yeah, congratulations. Thoroughly deserving of that Player of the Match award.
Did you know that?
Oh, I don't know a lot of stats.
You're a team player.
I do. I'm a bit of a cricket snuff. I watch a lot of games, but I don't keep. If anything, I'm looking at where to get people out as a non-bowler, which is probably a bit backwards.
You've been absolutely superb. No. I think you're doing a wonderful job. And just before we let you go, what a catch that was as well. You made it look so casual. It was harder than that, surely. Harder than you made it look.
It was somewhat misread. I thought it was coming a fair bit quicker than what it was, and then when I jumped, I was actually completely off cue, so stuck the hand up, and luckily...
We hung in the air like Ronaldo. It was extraordinary. Listen, fantastic performance. Very well done. And I get the feeling we're going to see you here as the Virtue Player of the Match many, many times. But you are today's Virtue Player of the Match. Thank you so much, Laura, and best of luck for the rest of the competition.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Fantastic. That is Laura Harris, who is our Player of the Match today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. What a fantastic day. A 69-run win for the Bears Bears women. Can the men follow suit? They're going to be in action in just over half an hour's time. Our stream is going to be starting at 6:40. It's a separate stream, so make sure you join us then for Bears men versus Yorkshire. Until then, thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon, everybody.